we OG, we OG. Oh no, G. You're not bullish enough, yeah. Oh no, you're not bullish enough. You ain't got D or no. I get stoned by the bolo. Bitcoin set to overload, yeah. Experts on reload, yeah. You're not bullish enough, yeah. Oh no, you're not bullish enough. You ain't got D or no. I get stoned by the bolo. Bitcoin set to overload. Experts on reload. Mempool getting hot. Everybody wanna rock, ayy. Runes is coming, everybody on a knot, ayy. It's a nuisance, Ordinal Revolution, ayy. Ordinal Revolution. Yo, it's my guy for real, bro. Got friends right now. Yo, BRC 420, bro. Yo, that shit on fire, bro. Imagine if he in here. Yeah, lock it in the seal. Merlin, I got balls of steel. Nookies on the field. Yeah, this shit for real. With no calls, I get so far. Got 100 phone calls that I go hard, and they gon' love me. Smoke weed, huddle back. I get shiesty. Where my Bitcoin looking lovely. All this Satoshi's nothing above me. Bitcoin's alive, what you gon' do? Mempool fees are high. Ordinal. Where does it start? Nobody knows. It's a revolution, ayy. Bitcoin is the one, no substitution, ayy. With Shizzy and Yagobi, it's Ordinal Revolution.
Welcome back to Ordinal Revolution. My name is Shizzy. On this channel, we cover the entire Bitcoin Ordinal ecosystem. What is up, guys? We have an amazing show for you guys today. We're live from the Ordinal Hour, and this one is going to be absolutely amazing because today we don't have Yagobi. So, that sucks. But we got Jake Gallen from Emblem Vault. Jake has been in the space forever. He's an OG. He's a Bitcoiner. He's played back in Bitcoin before Ordinals were even a thing, right? When there was still, the rare Pepes and stuff. So it's absolutely amazing to have him today. We've got a lot of amazing topics. Obviously, Bitcoin dropped down below 90,000 today with a pop back up to 92. We'll get into some price action stuff, but we got a lot of amazing topics today. And I kind of just want to jump right into them. So without further ado, let's bring in my partner here today, Mr. Jake Gallen. Welcome to Ordinal Revolution.
You could have said Mr. Yagobi.
I was trying to figure out something, but it's just like it's hard to do it on the fly. But how are you doing today, man? And this being this Monday, and we got a huge week ahead of us.
Yeah, first, appreciate the invitation to co-host. I've been a big fan for the show for a while. Obviously, Emblem's a partner of Ordinal Revolution. I'm excited. One question: have you ever had a guest co-host before?
I have a few times. We usually we had Jake 25. Yeah, we take a lot of vacations so far, but yeah, I had a couple so far. Yeah.
All right, following the footsteps of giants. Let's get after
it. Yeah, man. It's gonna be a good one. But you posted something over the weekend that got me really intrigued. I just want to show it here real quickly. It's kind of our first topic, and then if you don't mind giving us some updates on Emblem Vault. But this is you. It made a huge breakthrough this morning. We just created our first Emblem Vault 2.0 Bitcoin wallet using Lit protocol. This means we can now begin adding BTC wallets into Emblem Vault AI and also take the next steps on the Founder Vault's launch. Absolutely huge, massive. Tell me exactly what this is and maybe some updates on Emblem.
Yeah, that tweet actually caught a lot more attention than I expected. I like to give the community just updates as we progress. I've found that to be the most constructive to the community than doing kind of just these large announcements, which other teams do. So what it means is Emblem Vault, as we've moved into Emblem 2.0, we use our backend. We've migrated services to Lit protocol, which is essentially a trusted execution environment. So similar to kind of what Arch is. Arch has their own TEE. You see TAP uses ICP as their TE. we use something called Lit Protocol, which is essentially kind of like decentralized key signatures. So I won't go too much more deep in it. And for us to progress, we have wallet support for Emblem 2.0 for Solana and Ethereum. You see that on Emblem AI. But what we had to do is build one for Taproot. And I know no other team's gone down this road, at least with Lit Protocol, because we hit some technical hurdles over the last few weeks because we wanted to get the Founder Vault collection out by the end of the year. And over the weekend, we had to get some, we were calling it God tier support service from Lit Protocol to build a specific TEE for Bitcoin for us. So it took some major dev work on both sides of Lit Protocol and the Emblem development team to get that done. And so now we can create Bitcoin supported assets for Emblem 2.0. So Emblem 2.0 is what we've talked about, enables these jump features where if I put a node monkey inside of an Emblem 2.0 Bitcoin wallet or vault, I can then take it to Merlin or take it to Blast on Ethereum or go take it to ApeChain or Solana, XYZ capabilities. So we finally got through that progress. Actually, if you go to the Founder Vault OpenSea collection, you'll see we actually minted 1,000 of those vaults already. So the next step for us now is to deliver the keys to those vaults. And then we're going to distribute the first 350 vaults or 300 or so to those who participated in the private sale, even though you'll be able to buy them on the open market as well. And we've talked about that kind of at length. It's open to everybody. And then on the other side with Emblem AI, we've seen now, if anyone's been following the AI space, most of these projects are all EVM and Solana based, right? Virtuals is on Base. You have a lot of the projects that are on Solana. There's none that have been on Bitcoin because there hasn't been a team that's been able to enable Bitcoin support for AI wallets. And essentially what an AI wallet is just an API wallet, but there's some nuance to it. So we may be the first team. I won't say the first because I don't know for sure, but we'll say one of the first teams to enable Bitcoin support so that an AI agent can transact in Bitcoin. And for us, since we're in the Ordinals and Rune space and Counterparty, we also have experience to be able to integrate or attach these other kind of emerging meta protocol systems to this as well. So hopefully here, by the end of this month or maybe beginning of next month, anybody who hooks up to Emblem AI, whether you're using our agent, Agent Hustle, or maybe it's somebody like Butoshi who has said that they want to use our wallet to then link his own agent to our Emblem AI wallets with Bitcoin support to then go do whatever XYZ things that they have destined for their agents.
Wow, yeah, that's huge because now we can able to tell the agent, and you actually showed me this a while back, that you can actually have them do things for you. They can say, "Hey, go buy me this or go trade this," and stuff like that. Like it's kind of works like a limit order. If say, "Hey, like if Puppet drops below 0.9, I want you to purchase one."
Yep, there's a new category that's popped up over the last 5 or 6 days in the AI agent space called DeFi. It's DEFAI. Yeah. There's a few spaces. Our project, the Tensorium project, is classified right now as an AI meme, but the DeFi category didn't exist. So I suspect this is pretty much where we're going with the Tensorium project, because what the Tensorium project is Emblem AI wallets plus Agent Hustle, which is our agent, plus the Tensor token. So you're just kind of combining all three of these together to build a cool project. But individually, these are also separate things. Like Agent Hustle and Emblem AI can be separate projects, and we consider them separate projects internally. But together, when we blend these three things together with tokenomics and cool stuff, we're going down that route of being able to, have conditional order limits or dollar cost averaging or doing yield farming, right? Or maybe there's some sort of opportunity there with mempool sniping and ordinals and AI agents. Some of it's not really quite clear yet, but we're building it into that direction where once we do put out these tools from an Emblem side, we generally will look and look to see what the market is telling us. We like to make market-driven market data driven decisions. And, we'll go from there. And maybe some other AI agent projects who are using Emblem AI will be able to get that data for us, so we don't have to go through some of the pain and suffering.
100%, man. And like we were talking before, and I was telling you, like, I love ordinals and rune stuff, but it's kind of boring right now. And a lot of the time, this AI stuff's been just taking away my attention a little bit. But this is actually amazing because this is Bitcoin, right? This is everything that we do over here, just bringing the AI here. And I was kind of waiting for that, right? Like we've seen Butoshi do it, we've seen a couple other people, but there hasn't been any big people really pushing the narrative over here except Emblem Vault. I mean, you guys have been saying it from day one. Obviously it's easier to do that stuff on Solana, but you guys are actually bringing it here, and it sounds pretty incredible.
For us, the decision was a no-brainer. I mean, Emblem's a Bitcoin product at the end of the day, right? It's a Bitcoin interoperability protocol. And we have the experience between the technical capabilities, but also the cultural relevance within the community to kind of spread the message. And it seemed like there was a lot of interest because, excuse me, after I put out that post, the Tensor token, I think, like doubled. It's kind of come back down now because the market is down. But I actually received a few DMs from not retail traders, but actually like institutional providers, trading, like a few trading desks and builders who are really interested in the Bitcoin wallet support for AI agents, because nobody has done that, at least from the conversations that I've had. So maybe it's not it's maybe, having an agent use Bitcoin for collateral or to trade or whatever it is not as attractive to the Solana degens or the Ethereum degens, but it seems to be the larger teams are the ones who are reaching out to us who are very interested in it.
Yeah, 100%, dude. And we did hear over the weekend this was pretty big news with MetaMask. They're currently hiring a senior product manager for Bitcoin network integration. I mean, this just brings further, that we're doing something here, right? We're doing something here. So these big guys are now looking over here. So that's pretty massive. And will you guys built your own version of the wallet? So something like MetaMask couldn't just interact with it?
Correct. So we use LIT protocol. So the keys to all the wallets are secured within the LIT protocol, TEE. We did look into like building a snap, which is like an application inside of MetaMask.
Gotcha.
But it's so complex for no reason, to be honest, which is kind of annoying.
Yeah.
But it is great to see them going after Bitcoin support. Unfortunately, I think it's potentially too late at this point in time. Like they've already had so many wallets run laps around them already.
Yeah.
And it kind of just shows that once a company, or in this case, a foundation, the Ethereum Foundation, becomes too institutionalized, they move so slow. And these other, very hungry teams come in and upend them. And, maybe I'll propose this question to you. Like, okay, let's say, 4 months from now, MetaMask adds Bitcoin support. Do you think people really care, right? Most people are using Phantom now.
Well, I see it as an onboarding tool more than anything. I don't see that the Bitcoin users today are going to use it, but I do feel like the guys from Base who are like, oh yeah, you know what? I want to get a Node Monkey. It's going to be easy for them, especially if they add the bridge like they have already, to kind of send it Ethereum to Bitcoin and then transfer it that way. So I do see it as an onboarding tool, but the guys that are here now, I doubt we're going to use it.
So it's going to be for like normies.
Yeah. Well, I guess you would say the little bit more advanced. I would say the potentially the level 2 guys, right? The guys who for the first time they're just finally jumping off of Coinbase, right? And potentially, doing that, like, oh wow, how do I get this? And the easy way to do it would be MetaMask, because they're already used to it, put their same words into it, and bridge stuff. But I just can't see. I mean, I'm an Xverse guy. Like I don't really like Unisat too much, and if I use anything, it's usually Xverse. But like, when it comes to different things, sometimes I have to use Unisat for Fractal and some stuff on Merlin as well.
Well, when you're looking at Base, though, Coinbase is pushing Coinbase Wallet. They're not pushing MetaMask.
It's true.
Right? And if that's going to be the onboard for the 300 million customers or whatever it is that Coinbase uses, really, I guess the remainder of people who are using MetaMask are kind of the old school, the people who are in their ways and in their habits. Like I still use MetaMask for Ethereum just because I'm too lazy to set anything else up. But I'm probably not going to use it for the Bitcoin support because we're a little bit more sophisticated. So we're probably practicing better security, and you're putting different amounts, right? You're not putting everything into one single wallet. You're kind of distributing it across these different ecosystems. I think it's, I think MetaMask is in a tough spot just because of how crowded their foundation and the Ethereum politics that are in play. They could make a comeback, right? Maybe they're kind of in a similar situation as OpenSea, but still good to see. Like Bitcoin support is still a win no matter what.
100%. Yeah, man. Let's keep it moving here. Huge week this week. We have the core PPI tomorrow, and then on Wednesday we have the core CPI. So this is basically the key to the next leg of the bull market, in my opinion. I think these numbers are going to come in a little lower than expected, which basically means that it's not going to give any reason for Jerome to stop cutting. This is my opinion. Curious of your opinion on this, but this could, be either postpone the bull run a little bit till February, or kind of give it that spark that we need. What do you think?
I was listening to a few macro podcasts over the weekend, as well as some crypto podcasts.
Yeah.
And it seems to be a consensus forming that they think there's a potential tightening actually happening, where the rates actually may go up in the future. And because Jerome's become a little bit hawkish. I don't know if that's actually going to happen. They're saying the market's starting to price. That's why stocks are down today, I guess. But you still have Trump coming in office, right? He's still bullish on Bitcoin. There's still going to be a proposal for a strategic reserve, right? There's going to be reform for the crypto and AI industry with David Sachs. And it's hard not to be bullish, but there is, there could be some consolidation happen for an extended period of time over the next 3-4 months. I would not discount that. That was actually part of my end of the year 2025 predictions. And I think this cycle is an extended cycle. I'm more in the opinion that the Bitcoin all-time high is not going to happen until 2026, to be honest. Like, I think this runs until essentially the Department of Government Efficiency ends July 4th, 2026. It just seems like the meme narrative is leading the cycle. And to me, that seems kind of like a kind of a good finale area. So I would just say for people to prepare for longer consolidation periods and then more up. I think that's more healthy for the market.
Yeah, I definitely agree. But I just can't see Jerome tightening, like, especially with Trump coming out and basically saying interest rates are already too high. Like, him doing that is basically, I mean, he might as well resign at that point, because as soon as Trump gets, I know he's not allowed to fire him, but he's going to push, especially with the new Secretary of Treasury and stuff like that, for potentially getting either rid of Jerome or getting rid of that whole department altogether, right? I mean, that's something. It definitely seems to be something that it's on the table right now. So I just don't see Jerome trying to piss off Trump in his first couple of days, right?
I would say Jerome's actually done like a pretty good job of maintaining the Fed's independence over the last 2 years with the decisions. Maybe he went too fast with raising the rates so rapidly, and then maybe took maybe a few months too long lowering them. But the CPIs, it's been lowering. If it comes in hot, then obviously they're not going to lower rates much longer, right? Or maybe we get less cuts. This also, you'd have to see how the strength of the dollar is comparative to the rest of the world. Like, a stronger dollar obviously is negative for risk assets. And obviously with Trump coming in, if they're trying to cut departments and bolster the US economy and become more efficient, to me that leads to longer consolidation periods where there's more of an unknown until maybe there's more clarity on the crypto regulatory environment that maybe takes 6 months to be enacted.
Yeah.
But overall, hard to not be bullish.
Yeah, I completely agree. I agree. Yeah, it's I just can't see him tightening right now. I just can't see it. But I mean, if the numbers do come in hot, which I just don't think they are. I mean, I go to the grocery store all the time, and I think the prices are dropping. You know what I mean? Like, it's just one of those things where I just don't see us getting hot. And the dollar's already, I mean, DXY is at like 110. I mean, highest it got in 2022, which was complete, rates were like, super high, right? They were highest at their point in like December of 2022. So I just can't see, and the dollar was only like 117. So I just can't see the dollar DXY really going up that much higher. I feel like we're going to be entering that double top pattern here with the dollar coming back down like 106, 104, potentially by the end of the year.
I'll just add one. I'll add one maybe counterpoint to it. If Trump's coming in, yes, they want to build a strategic reserve, but he also wants to strengthen the dollar. If he has, some sort of negotiation with China to where China starts using the dollar again, or maybe Russia starts using the dollar again for oil sales or for different types of international business, then you could see the dollar go past the local top that was a few years ago of 117, because that's his entire intention. Also, with the proliferation of stable coins, right? I think the stable coin, I think it's like around 200 billion or 300 billion, the amount of USD in stable coins. But if they start pushing for stable coins and you get the Stablecoin Act passed, and now they're distributing it as stable coins internationally, and that goes up to 500 billion by the end of the year, it would be hard to not see in a situation where the US dollar, the DXY, purchasing power doesn't increase, because now it's being massively distributed all over the world.
That is true, though. Stable coins, but the stable coins doesn't show the DXY, but you are right, though. It would just be another, something to add to that eventually. But we'll keep it moving here. Speaking of stable coins, Tether USDT to relocate to El Salvador. So this is absolutely huge for El Salvador. I mean, this is a multi-billion-dollar company. I mean, I think they're valued at anywhere between 20 billion, maybe even higher than that. But this is huge for them, because they're gonna build something there that's special. And I don't know. Obviously, this is probably bigger for El Salvador than it is for Tether. But I mean, this is absolutely amazing that this is happening to them. I mean, what Nayib Bukele done to that country is absolutely insane.
Tether is one of the most based companies in the entire world. It's insane, their story. Of course, if you're here in 2017 and 18 and all the FUD, and remember Tether depegged for a little while, they've came back with such a roaring vengeance, or maybe they were always in the driver's seat. They are one of the largest holders of U.S. treasuries. I think like a few months ago, they had close to $100 billion in treasuries. I think only Warren Buffett had held more. They're investing in different types of companies now, right? They just put a $750 million investment into Rumble. So they're diversifying. They have the largest profit per employee of a company in the entire world. 55 companies, and they profited $5 billion, right? So you're making $100 million or so per employee, which is just like absolutely insane. So relocating to El Salvador, to me, makes a lot of sense. El Salvador is getting one of the most profitable companies in the entire world to come down there. They're literally their quarterly profit, or maybe I think it was quarter or half year profit of $5 billion, is more than the entire El Salvador yearly GDP. Like their GDP, I think, was like 4 billion, something like that. So they literally just doubled their GDP just by having one team move down here. And if you know kind of how humanity and psychology works, once wealth moves, then there's going to be a lot of laggard effects. Like I live out here in Las Vegas, and when the Raiders came out here, house prices literally doubled within 5 years because of all the different millionaires that followed the team. I suspect something similar to happen in Tether, where you're going to get a lot of crypto billionaires coming down. You'll probably get a lot of different companies migrating down there as well. And El Salvador is about to go on literally a historic, like, all-time run.
El Salvador is probably going to be one of the top nations in the world one day because of this. It's kind of like what Dubai did in the the 90s and the thousands. They just came out of nowhere and they became one of the richest countries in the world. El Salvador could potentially do that, but instead of oil, they're using Bitcoin.
Yeah, it's interesting. I'm going to use a Vegas reference again. I've had this conversation with a bunch of friends, but there's only two cities that were founded in the 20th century that have over 1 million people population, and those are Las Vegas and Dubai. And both of those cities are built around entertainment. And so I've had this conversation with friends of, what will be, that type of dynamic, for the 21st century. What's a new city that's going to be formed that has over 1 million people and is very wealthy? Crypto could potentially be that, where you get a new city that's going to be created in El Salvador and has over 1 million people and becomes, a very wealthy city, just like you see with Dubai and Las Vegas. And, maybe we're seeing that trend being set right now.
Yeah, it's really cool to see, and I couldn't happen to a better guy. I think Niki Bukele is definitely somebody who, like, I mean, he has the new ideas party. Like, there's no, you know what I mean? There's no bigger like commitment to, being brilliant than having the new ideas party out with the old ideas, right? They don't work. Like, we obviously, they don't work. So it's awesome to see him kind of pushing together all this new stuff and pushing technology, and somehow he convinced Tether, right, to come there. So.
Have you watched any of those videos of Bukele having to go out and round up all of the criminals and the gangs, and he had to basically do it with an iron fist, which some people have some issues with, because maybe there was some humanitarian crimes that happened there, or some innocent individuals are locked up. But man, dude, guys got balls of steel.
Dude, I would like I'm in Philly, right? So like I'm not far from the historic Kensington and Allegheny, right? K&A. And I wish something like I wish some mayor would have the balls to do some stuff that the Keeb did, right? So it's just like it's one of those things where it's like just go ahead, do it. It got rid of, I mean, I did see it was like 4 or 5 people, they were like in these houses, and he put the whole army on the street. like it was really wild to see, but like it works, right? So
bullish on El Salvador.
All right, last thing here before we get into the other stuff. But U.S. Congressman Buddy Carter introduces bill to abolish the IRS, get rid of it completely, and repeal income, payroll, estate, and gift taxes. So no more taxes. Taxes are out the window, except one, and that will be the sales tax at 29%. I was actually looking into this weekend, and I mean, I'm completely down for it. It actually, it's consumer tax, right? It's if you buy anything. But if you don't buy anything, if you sit there and save your wealth and just buy Bitcoin, this benefits you historically. I love this. I don't know if it's going to get passed, but I just thought that, again, it's a new idea, something different. And then you just tariff everything as well.
So I missed this over the weekend. So if I understand this correctly, so if I go and buy a PS5, then it's a 29% tax. But, if my monthly salary from Emblem then is not taxed.
Nothing. 0.
Not bad. It's just kind of like a subtle wealth tax, or a consumption tax. Because if you're going out and purchasing a lot of fast food, now you have to pay 29% tax on that. Maybe it makes people a lot healthier, which is a benefit.
You're still paying the same amount though if you go buy steak at the grocery store. So it's just like everything, right? It's just like everything will have that 29% tax no matter what it is. So it's still the same thing, except you're just getting all the money that you make, right? So I don't got to worry about April coming around and oh shit, I got to figure all this shit out. Like how I got rugged on this project. How do I figure that out? You know what I mean? It's just one of those things where it's like it's that's like the old way of doing things, and I just can't see that, especially if we get to a crypto age, but where you're giving, I mean, potentially AI could do it for you, right? AI could, you just give AI all your wallet addresses and it figures everything out for you, ask you maybe some questions about here and there. But like at the end of the day, I just think that's kind of the old way of doing things. And just I love this. You tariff the crap out of everything that brings jobs to the US, and then we just pay no taxes unless we consume. And that benefits the people who are Bitcoiners, who all they do, they sleep on an air mattress and just buy Bitcoin, right? So
it's interesting. Combining that with the tariffs is interesting, because once you add tariffs, prices are going to go up. So if they're tariffing, I'll just use a PS5 again as an example. So if a PS5 goes from 500 to 800 because of tariffs, and then you have a 29% tax, right? So now you're paying, you're saying close to $1,000. So, the prices of everything could potentially double at the end of the day. But if you're not getting taxed on work, or, there's no capital gains taxes and such, I think it's
real estate taxes, nothing.
I would have to do more research to see what kind of implications that are. But it seems to me like it's very simple, to the point, right? You don't have to go through all this tax code bullshit and trying to figure out your taxes and stuff like that. It's just a little bit more of a consumption tax. I'm down to experiment personally.
Now Sony creates a factory in the US and makes the PlayStations here, right? Which creates jobs. So at the same time, they're not paying that 20% tariff no more, but then they're they got to pay their employees a little bit more because they're doing it in the US. So potentially that's going to bring jobs here, which is going to bring more wealth to the United States as well. So I actually like the tariffs, because instead of my shirt saying made in Indonesia, I might say, hey, made in US, right? So I don't know.
I mean, I'm no macro expert, but I am somebody who likes to yap and talk about these different types of ideas.
Yeah, me too.
Bringing jobs back, definitely very important. It's also from a security standpoint. Obviously, Trump's also going on trying to acquire Greenland, right, in a territory, making these these approaches to Canada, to the Panama Canal. Obviously, we have El Salvador. So looping all that in and creating an industrial giant again, kind of interesting. I don't know what the outcome is of all of this. The Greenland prime minister said that he wants to talk. Said he doesn't want to become a. He said that the Greenlandic people, they don't want to be a part of Denmark. They don't want to be a part of the United States, but they'll have a kind of conversation there. So maybe a lot of the factories end up going to Greenland, honestly, which is still a little bit closer.
100%. Yeah, and then potentially, they do become a province, right? Where we don't really tax them. And then that's a benefit because, maybe we get, maybe a lot of these people who are new to the country. Hey, you guys want to go to Greenland? Like,
it's a very big place. It's a very big place.
It's massive. It is absolutely massive. All right. Let's kind of get into the Bitcoin price action here and take a look at what is going on with Bitcoin. This is brought to you guys by BitPerp. BitPerp is going to be the leading leverage trading platform in the Bitcoin ecosystem. They're going to allow you to take leverage out on runes, BRC20s, and so much more, guys. Go check out bitperp.io. Their paper trading competition starts in a few days. So definitely check that out. We had a meeting with them probably like a week ago at this point, and they said they want to enrich their users. And obviously right now they have no token. They're still in testnet. They're going to be on Botanic's testnet coming up next week, and then they're going to launch potentially on Hemi, which is a Bitcoin layer 2. That's might be the first place, but they're going to be on a lot of different Bitcoin layer 2s. Really excited for BitPerp. Check them out, guys. And this is the Bitcoin price action. So let's kind of go. But this is kind of what I'm seeing here. I'm seeing this kind of like this bull flag pattern. Almost, I guess you consider that a bull flag, but we did see a low this morning of little under 90,000. Man, absolutely insane. What do you think about this price action here that we're kind of seeing right now?
I would say it was expected. Sailor was pushing up the price for quite a while. Now we're into a new tax year, so some people are still going to continue to take profits probably for a little while until the inauguration. And I just expect longer consolidation. But the fact that Bitcoin is at 91,000 and people are absolutely terrified, I think is amazing. I tweeted this morning and I said that I said, if you live through March 12th, 2020, then this price action is literally, it's nothing. That was the only time where I ever felt like it was all over. It was that Black Thursday, or was it Black Friday kind of event when Bitcoin went negative 50% in one day. This to me just seems like, I mean, look at that chart. It's literally straight up for since Trump was elected president, right? Literally kind of straight up there.
Oh yeah. If you go to the weekly, man, it's pretty insane. Where is that? The week? Boop. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty insane here. I mean, this starts 2016. Yeah, I mean, you can't even. That's like a blip at this point, and then we just kind of been up only. But these consolidations, though, but this hurt though, bro. Like I can't. Like we do a show on this every single day, and sitting through this was really tough for me. And I'm really hoping we don't see something like this. But this would go into your idea here of sitting here with this consolidation of just kind of sitting here for a while before we get another breakout, which this would take us into potentially May of 2025, and I would cry.
I'm more under the opinion that it's going to be something like that, just because I think it's going to take 2 quarters for crypto policy to happen. Obviously, sometimes consolidation is great for alts. This cycle has been a little bit different, where all the ecosystems are kind of isolated from one another, which I think is good for the longevity of the crypto industry, where different sectors are not dependent on Bitcoin price action. If you remember, last cycle was Bitcoin up, right? Everything goes down, right? Or it was when Ethereum goes up, then all altcoins pump. It has not been like that this cycle.
Nope. But at the same time, I think everyone's just kind of waiting for Ethereum, right? So you've seen Bitcoin all-time high. I mean, it almost doubled. Well, it's like 50% up on an all-time high, and you see Solana, it just passed its all-time high and then kind of fell back down, and it's kind of flirting with it again, its previous all-time high. And then but you saw Ethereum. I mean, we got below $3,000 today. I mean, I think last cycle we hit about 4,900. But and then kind of fell back down to, I think at the bottom was like 1,000 or 800 or something. And but I just think everyone just needs Ethereum to kind of start doing its thing here, because a lot of money that's going into the Bitcoin ETF will, these guys are really smart, right? They're going to see an opportunity there. These bankers, and there's an Ethereum ETF. There's only a matter of time before we get the Michael Saylor of ETH. And I think that's really good and healthy for altcoins, because ETH has always been that anchor. It's always been, Bitcoin, Ethereum, large caps, and then you get your small caps, and you get your micro caps, right? But we haven't even got to the second place yet. That's why I just think that we're just so early in the cycle, where we might see that in February. You kind of see maybe Bitcoins go sideways, which is okay as long as you see Ethereum and everything else, because I think Ethereum's also going to do really well for our runes, because like runes and Bitcoin ecosystem stuff might be that second tier now, where if Ethereum goes up, it kind of rides with it, and you kind of seen that in the past as well, especially recently.
I would say positive crypto policy is the most bullish for Ethereum, right?
Yeah.
This cycle's been so overweight meme coin, and it's because if you have a utility token, you couldn't do anything.
Yeah.
So I think even the first hint of bringing utility back probably sends Ethereum. Ultimately, I think the most positive thing would be getting a staking yield-bearing Ethereum ETF, right? They had to omit that due to the Gary Gensler administration. So all the Ethereum that's inside of this ETF, BlackRock's just making the yield on their own. They haven't distributed any of those profits, or even maybe they're keeping them themselves. But once Ethereum, if you're getting a 2% or 3% yield on your Ethereum ETF, that's what Wall Street loves. They love that passive stuff, right? Making 2 or 3% in a week is like, you're like God tier trading status, right? On Wall Street. So getting those type of things, at least getting the conversation going and hinting towards that direction of it happening, probably will bring the altcoin market back. What if Trump comes in and within the first few weeks, they get these policies, which they've probably been drafting already at this point in time, that could completely change the consolidation. I think you could see a situation where Ethereum leads Bitcoin and brings Bitcoin up because of the rotation. That's something that could happen as well.
And right now, Ethereum's APY is 6%, right? So
wow.
So it's super high, like for the APY, but that's because there's like that burning mechanism as well when stuff like that. But it's 6%. I don't think it's 6% a year inflation because of the burning, but I think it's pretty close, especially this year because there hasn't been much burned. But yeah, I mean, you can get APY right now, and then you can use other platforms as well, like Lido and stuff, where you're getting paid in the Lido token, and even get higher than that 6%. So, I mean, I just can't imagine you're sitting here with all these bankers, and they, right now they can put their money in these, 10-year bonds, these treasury, and get that yield, but eventually they're not going to be able to. And they're going to look at Ethereum as something to potentially get more APY on. And if you're right, if we do get an ETF pushed that, that actually they can earn yield. I mean, it's at that point it's trustless, and then you could get someone like Coinbase to custodian it for them, or another company as well. So I mean, that could be absolutely perfect, and that could be the momentum we need for this next layer of alts to kind of fly up, which would bring up our runes and ordinals up as well.
This cycle has been all about narrative rotations. It's actually been quite profound to watch how fast some of these happen, where it goes from meme coins to AI, or it goes from AI to DeFi, or kind of all these things, and they happen quite fast. The most biblical rotation ever would be U.S. Treasuries rotating into Ethereum staking yield ETF, right? You have hundreds of billions of dollars sitting there, and I think they're generating 5% or maybe a little bit less than 5% yield. But if you have a 6%, and then Jerome starts bringing down rates even further, then that just makes them rotate into the Ethereum ETF. That would probably send Ethereum to like 20K, to be honest.
Yeah, that's kind of my target. I think Ethereum hits where Bitcoin did in 2019. I don't think it's long lived, but I think we hit like 19,000. around there, something like that. I mean, I could definitely see that. But what that's going to do to the rest of the market, I mean, that's going to make things like, especially down the line of dog potentially hitting numbers that Leonidas was speaking about. All right. So I don't know if it's going to hit that, but 10 billion, 15 billion, maybe. I mean, if Ethereum's going to 19,000, that's definitely possible. So
I've been so bullish on dog since the beginning. I've been on all the shows talking about when Runestone flipped apes. I was like, oh man, this is going to be like the most generational thing that's happened of all time. And it's held up pretty well, even in this like limited infrastructure. But the distribution, the community, yeah, I think that's going to be probably one of the best performers by the end of the cycle. I'm interested to see what happens to the downside, because runes, they're kind of this like staircase up. You don't see too many just vertical candles, and it's because of how it trades. So I'm curious, when dog gets to 5-10 billion or even higher, what that downside looks like. Is it staircase down, or is there, at that point, do all of these exchanges start picking up and doing, perps to the downside or whatever to kind of try to force that that gigantic elevator down?
Yeah, 100%. And that's something I definitely want to talk about. I got the sweep by Leonidas I want to bring up in a second, but real quick, I just want to join to the roll call, kind of see who's here. And guys, just so you guys know, who first is first matters on the show. I've been tracking it this year. I've been tracking it. So today we got Inagi. You're number one today. I know some of you guys landed in the graveyard. I apologize. I don't know why YouTube deletes some comments sometimes, but all I see right here is 10:28 this morning. Inagi, first is first today. You win today, man. Congratulations. And I put you on my list right here. Obviously, Yasher right now, he has 4 wins. So let's see if he can keep that up. But today we got a new number one. We got Inagi. So congratulations to you. But let's kind of keep this going. Chief Axel in that 2 spot. Yasher in that 3 spot. Our mod right there. He says, where is everybody? Yeah, I don't know. It's really weird in here today. The comments are just really low. Superfan is here. GM. He's going to be joining us tomorrow, guys. He's going to be my guest tomorrow. While Yagobi will be back on Wednesday. Jamie Coin is here. Shout out to Jamie Coin. And we have I See You. And Steamy J is here. Mats is here. Brian Landry. I think it's your first time. No, I've seen you before. That's right. Yeah, he said, there's no volume. And that's probably why there's no one here as well. But Happy Homer is here. Patty Poo. And then Adam McBride jumps in. Shout out to Adam, man. You guys do together, man, is absolutely amazing. We have 320 people in here. Appreciate every single one of you guys, man. And let's keep this going here.
Hey,
but
you know how crypto is when the market's down, it becomes a ghost town. Not just price, but you could see it through the engagement on social media as well. Once everything starts dipping, people are touching grass or they just got absolutely carried out on a stretcher.
I mean, dude, I can't even look at, like, I have a CoinGecko portfolio and I peep at it every now and then. And today I was like, I'm not even looking at it. I don't even want to look at it. I don't want to see anything, because like there's days where it's like it fluctuates like 20,000 and it's like, it hurts. It hurts my insides. I don't know how people look at that stuff every day, but
I'm telling you, I'm dead inside after March 12th. After I saw Bitcoin go 50% in a day and my net worth went down 90%. And that was the only time I ever thought, like, oh, fuck, this might actually be all over. Like, it went from like 8,000, 7,000, then it was 5,000. Then it was down to 4,000. It was going faster and faster. And I was like, oh my Lord. Apparently, Arthur saved us by turning off the perp engine.
Arthur Hayes,
that's the rumor.
Wow.
He turned off the liquidation engine on BitMEX, and that's where you saw that gigantic bounce from 3,800 to, I think it went almost to 6,000 afterwards. And it's just funny because all of the other exchanges, Coinbase then went offline, Binance was offline. I think all of the exchanges were basically like, oh fuck, we need to basically turn off the sell button to save the industry.
Yeah, that was a tough time. I remember that. I was messing with stocks, but March 2020. So but I remember Bitcoin flying down, and that's kind of when, a couple months later, that's when I got my first Bitcoin for 8,000. So that was, I wish I would have bought it that day, because I remember sitting there and I was scared to buy it because I had the money sitting there, obviously, and I was just like, oh man, I was afraid to buy. Then I waited 100% from that point, but it only stayed like that for a couple of days, right? It hit 3,000 and immediately it was never around that again.
I think it did dip back down to, so I think it was like 3,800 was the bottom. That's like the infamous Kobe tweet where he says that all my buy orders will save my future generations or whatever it is. And it pumped up and then it hung around there in between the like 3,800 and 5,000 for a few months. And then once the money printer turned on, right, the rest is history.
Yeah, man. And then for me, it was I think it was like November 13th when FTX went down. That tweet from CZ, and then a few hours later, seeing the FTX token just tank, and then Bitcoin hitting 16,000. That was my point where I was like, oh crap, like because I bought Bitcoin 8,000, and then watched it go up to 69, and then saw it come back down to 16, and I was like, am I gonna get like underneath my first ever buy? Because obviously I bought it the whole way up. And then I was just like, oh man, that was my point where I was just like, but I don't know. I don't know if I felt like it was going to go to zero though at that point. I just felt like, where can I get more money? Like that was going through my head. I was like, what can I sell right now? Do I really need my car? Like,
We all go through those moments.
all right, let's get into this next thing here. This is a tweet from Leonidas. It kind of it got me a little bit here when he said this, but there's something shady's going on with Binance listings. They just spot listed $200 million tokens, but still haven't even given $600 million dog a perp listing. Very fishy. I kind of want to get your opinion on this. Do you see what Binance is doing is fishy, or do you see them just not wanting to list runes? I mean, there's no excuse though, because they listed Ordi and Sats, and it's the same wallets, right? So there's not like they got to come up with an index or anything like that. I mean, they have like everything down, but I'm curious your opinion on this.
I don't think it's fishy. Maybe there's some fishy collusions around low volume tokens getting listed because they're paying. It is a pay to play kind of environment, and obviously Dog's not playing. I think they've honestly just deprioritized runes. I don't suspect it's as malicious. I mean, it does that. This kind of statement doesn't get the engagement that, right, saying that Binance is intentionally not listing us because they want us to pay a fee, which could be it. But if you're a business that needs to print, millions of dollars to pay for your thousands of employees across the world, then obviously you're just going to continue to lead into what's working. And what's working is coins paying these listing fees. And it's quite large.
Yeah.
Well, it's like, why stop, right? Why stop to do that? What generally happens in these kind of things is there's somebody on the inside who's like a big fan of a token, and then they have the ear of the CEO or whoever's in charge of the listing process. And then they basically could do it under their own will to encourage the exchange to list that. We saw that with Kraken I think the guy's name was like Matt, who was like a big dog holder who convinced Kraken to list dog for perps, because it is still a lift technically, right? You still have to add the indexer. You still have to ensure that everything's still working. Sometimes it's like, okay, maybe they have to go to Magic Eden to get information, and then, or whoever the provider is, and it takes too long. And then they're just like, all right, this is deprioritized. We're just going to continue to work on other things. That's what I suspect. I mean, once it gets over 1 billion, it'll probably capture a lot more of the eyes. And it just becomes a domino effect where once somebody does it, then everyone else is going to follow suit right afterwards. It's just figuring out where that penetration point is. And if the dog community just continues to march forward and continues to grow, at some point it's going to happen.
Yeah, I 100% agree. And I'm kind of thinking too, like a lot of these exchanges are like, let's see if this stuff's still around in a year. Right. So April 19th was the birth of runes, and potentially we have to get there again. Because at that point, runes been around for a whole year. They ain't going nowhere. And I think once something has lasted a whole year and it's still being encouraged, there's still a community behind it. I think that's when you can't deny it anymore. And I think that's what. So for me, it's like two reasons why they haven't listed dog. One is they're working on their own indexers. They don't want to use Casey's indexers. They want to make sure that they have 100% faith in their system. And I think that's Coinbase, right? They originally now they're using Taproot addresses, which is awesome. They're saying it's because cheap fees. I think they've implemented it because they're potentially going to list runes and stuff like that, because they see a market for that, right? There's not, and if they can be one of the first people to do it, I think Brian Armstrong. I mean, he was a maxi for the longest time.
Mm-hmm.
For a while, he can only get Bitcoin and Ethereum on his exchange, and then obviously, he saw different stuff happening in 2017. But I mean, the early days it was just Bitcoin and Ethereum, and maybe some other ones as well. But I'm very curious of if this gets listed this year. I'm not kind of expecting it until April though.
I would expect it to get listed this year at some point.
Yeah.
I mean, look, it took Coinbase almost 4 years to add Taproot support after Taproot was added. And it's like, why didn't they why was it deprioritized? Well, Lightning, wasn't as effective as they thought. They had no reason to. And you look at something like Binance, it's just printing all these money and people keep throwing stuff at it. I guarantee you, if the listing fees things stopped, they'd probably list dog quite quickly afterwards. They'd start going down the checklist. But if people are just going to, again, if you're just going to have money thrown at your face, like why stop that?
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I agree. But I mean, it's all about fees too, right? Like, do you think if dog gets listed on Binance that we can bring enough fees?
Yeah,
to be
absolutely.
top
Yeah,
21?
the dog army is so large and has a very established degen culture from Asia as well as South America, and that's one of the reasons why I'm very bullish on dog, is that it's attracted a cohort from Brazil and Argentina and a few of these other South American and Central America countries that I don't think were really into crypto before they started participating in dog. And I could just tell you from our own experience, from the Emblem side of talking with Binance, they're generally looking for whales. So like when we were trying to get Koval listed on Binance, or when we were talking about getting Emblem Vault tech integrated into Binance NFT Marketplace, which I don't know if it exists anymore. Literally, the number one thing was, how many whales do you have in your community? How many can you bring to our platform? And then there's like a business offering as well on the back end of that. So if there's a way to calculate how many whales exist in the dog community, and I think if you present that information to Binance or to some of these other exchanges, maybe that's something that they're looking for.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I mean, we'll see. We'll see if it happens this year, but I definitely think I'm in your camp too. I think it does happen, but I just don't see it happen until the 1 year mark. I just feel like that gives it that push. If like maybe there's somebody in the Coinbase or at Kraken, like, let's just wait a year, just wait a full year so it can still around, because you see Coinbase, they had Bitcoin tokens before, but they delisted them, right? So. All right, let's kind of get to the next thing here. This is really interesting. So this is a tweet from Casey. Did you end up seeing this?
I did not see this. This is
All
pretty interesting, actually.
Let me bring it up right here. I didn't really look too much into it, but I kind of get the gist of it. So basically, he said, excitingly, Raf Jeff and I added the ability to create and accept offers to Ord. We used test it with the Badger 2 skull, which was purchased from me by a discrete inscription collector for 1 Bitcoin. Was that description 0, the skull?
I believe it was. I did see somebody post about it. Wasn't, I think it was like a child underneath of the skull.
Gotcha. Okay, makes sense. I was about to say he gave it up for 1 Bitcoin. I mean, I think that's worth a lot more than that. But
this is pretty cool. Add a 0 to that.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, that's history. That's forever. But this is pretty interesting on the sense of now, like with Magic Eden, like the offers, it's screwed up. Like it doesn't work properly. Every time I try to do it on something with like low liquidity, they'll say there's offers there, but then you go to do it and it doesn't work. But this actually allows someone like MetaMask now to kind of implement this, right? Because this is all happening through Ord, right?
Yeah, this is, I mean, if this is something that is functional and works properly and doesn't have any type of indiscriminate lag in terms of the complexity of it, I think this is super bullish. I mean, one of the main reasons that people use Emblem Vault to trade Repepes is for the bidding system on OpenSea, right? Because it just increases liquidity, it creates a more efficient market, and you can get to a more stable price on what's being traded. I'm curious to see how it works. Is the Bitcoin that you're offering as a bid, is it locked up? Something similar to like how the CryptoPunks marketplace works back in the day, where you had to actually deposit your Bitcoin and wait for somebody, to accept the bid. Can I take this 1 Bitcoin and go bid across 50 different ordinals? Right. I always think first, whenever there's a new technology, of how people are going to manipulate it, just because from the Emblem Vault side, there's so many bad actors that try to use this technology to trick people.
Yeah.
That from that perspective, I would like to see how it's working, because, Bitcoin doesn't have smart contracts. So if I could take 1 Bitcoin and go bid on 100 different ordinals, to me, that sounds like a bad time. That sounds like there's going to be some sort of security incident that happens. On the other side, then if you have to take the Bitcoin and go deposit it for a user to wait for a bid, is that something that people, are interested in locking up their Bitcoin to wait to see if a bid is accepted?
Yeah, from my understanding of this, it's a partially signed Bitcoin transaction. You basically have to lock up that Bitcoin, and the other person can come in and they can accept it by signing on their end. I'm not 100% sure that's how it works, but that's just what I got the gist of it. But I don't think you're going to be able to take one Bitcoin and do that. But I think this is going to be good for something like Alien Node Monkeys, right? Somebody who wants a big player in space right now. You can't. There's no way of doing that, right? If you gotta hope that one hits the floor for the price that you want instead of going there and being like, hey, this specific one, I want this specific one, and I'm willing to pay 3 Bitcoin for this, and just kind of wait for that person to kind of see it. That's the only thing about that. I just wish there was a way to, and maybe experts can do this, or it's another wallet, or maybe the AI can tell the person like, yeah, you got to bid on this, which would be really cool in the future as well. I don't know if that's possible, but I love this idea because now I can get a Pacific Node Monkey. I can be specific, whatever, Pizza Ninja that I want. Like I want a Pizza Ninja, but I don't want one on the floor. Maybe I want to pay a little bit more for one that's not listed. And I think this is an opportunity for that.
That is, yeah, for high value assets, I could definitely see that being a massive improvement. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how it does. But overall, much needed for the ordinal ecosystem. I feel like there hasn't been like a big innovation for ordinals in a while, and you've had a lot of prices that are pretty stagnant. There's no right. There hasn't been a new collection. I guess you had Fukuhedrons come in and do something like that, but you haven't seen a new collection enter the top 5 in over a year at this point.
Well, there was the frogs. Did you see that over the weekend? The Bitcoin, or last week, Bitcoin frogs,
Frugs.
FRUGS. Yeah, I don't know what it is. It's one of those things where you look at and you're like, this would have been amazing in like when things are hot, right? Because there was guys who bought it for $70 and were selling it for 300. It got up to like $300, I believe. 00228 was the high. But yeah, it's a lot of people in timeline talking about that. But this is just not a time when nothing's really good. I mean, kind of jump into the next thing here. On-chain monkeys had an insane, I don't know if you've seen it, but an absolutely insane last couple of days, up 70% this week, reaching a market cap of 46 million, making it the 5th most valuable Bitcoin ordinal collection. It came out of nowhere. I mean, I've been bullish on them for a while, but like not to the phase of 70% jump in a week. I'm not really sure what the news was on that. I got to do a little more research, but let's kind of go to the 7-day.
Yeah, I was trying to look to see what the catalyst for this was. I know Danny, his account has been growing because he was going back and forth with the Litecoin account for memes, and maybe just now since he has a larger audience, it's attracted newer participants into the ecosystem because I couldn't find anything new that would have become more attractive. So that just leads me to think that there's just more attention on Danny, which maybe enticed some outside participants to bring in new capital.
Yeah, I mean, Danny definitely deserves it. I mean, that team's been building since I want to say like early 2020, right? I think that's when they were one of the first NFT collections, right? It's like
I believe they launched OCM. Yeah, it was either 2020, end of 2020 or beginning of 2021. Danny's obviously been a builder for 10 years on Bitcoin, maybe a little bit longer. But OCM has literally been stagnant since they launched. I saw 0.04 BTC, I believe we'll just say it's like 4,600, right? So it's like a 1.5 ETH. When OCM migrated, it was to around 2 ETH. So it's still not even back to where the migration kind of value was. So it's still technically underwater. It just goes to show how far down it really was. But it is great to see. I mean, they're a staple. They're a name brand in the industry. They've contributed a lot. They've definitely take their swings at different types of new technologies, right? With the OCM, what's the other one? The one that's a supply of 300. I forget what that one's called. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, the original OCMs, right? On Bitcoin.
Yeah, the OCM. I forget what the name is of it. Right? They tried with cursed ordinals, and it was like on a rare set and XYZ. That collection didn't get a lot of attention, right? I thought the thought of that collection it'd become a staple in terms of for the golden kind of collectors. Mentions. Yeah, see 22 Bitcoin in volume. I thought at 43 Bitcoin. That's still pretty good, $4.5 million or so. But you would think for the effort that they went through on this, you would have thought that that would be much, much higher. So it's cool to see then the, the 10K then getting some attention in, and maybe it leads to more value accrual of the dimensions.
Yeah, really interesting. It ran hard, man. Like I remember seeing it at like 2000, like, wow, this is such a steal because of the ETH value. To your point of what it was, but especially after like the pudgies ran and everything else, it was one of those things where I was kind of looking and seeing what could run next, and it definitely had that idea in my head. I just didn't pull the trigger.
I know I was looking at it too, but
All
good for
right, guys.
Good for Danny, man.
100%. 100%. All right, guys. It is officially Monday at 12 o'clock, which means it is officially Merlin Monday. We got Jeff joining us right now. Let's bring him up. Jeff, welcome back to Ordinal Revolution.
Hey, what's up, guys?
What's up, man? How are you?
Yeah, just coming back from team building. We have a yearly team building with all the team members. Most of them, I would say not most of them, half of them, I haven't met them at all before. But that's the beauty of working in crypto is like people work in different cities around the world, building a relationship based on the project. But yeah, we finally met. We had some food. Great time. Yeah.
Awesome. I think this is the first time I've actually met Jeff in person, I guess digitally. So it's awesome to put a face to the voice, dude. I know you guys have been making some ground on Merlin chain.
Yeah.
So what's the latest updates? You got anything for us?
I mean, the latest update is Bitcoin is going down for a while. All the altcoins are bleeding as hell. But yeah, I mean, sometimes you just have to, the expectation too high. But the market always tells you, everything should grow organically and in a healthy way. So I think the setbacks are not problems here. The problem is what we have achieved in this cycle. So we had Ordinals inscriptions 2 years ago. We had the meme super cycle. We had the new DeFi for Bitcoin. We have all kinds of new narratives and stuff. AI is taking off in the past few weeks. So yeah, I think like lots of things are happening. But when you sit down and look back, you see like what kinds of assets or projects you are willing to hold for a long time. I think that's the problem. Everyone should ask themselves. But yeah, I think that's basically what happened in the past few days. Yeah, and Merlin. So we are trying to deliver lots of stuff. But first thing is we had lots of great builders coming last year when we launched our mainnet. Basically, very few people tried Solve and they pivot to BTC-Fi, and they're getting listed this Thursday on Binance and of course on many other exchanges as well. So the users who participated earlier last year to Solve protocol, if you still staked in Solve protocol, you'll have I mean, if you redeem your Bitcoin, you will still have some points. But those people who still stake the Bitcoin in Solve protocol will have I would say a pretty good APY. And considering Bitcoin was 40K at that time, and holding Bitcoin in Solve protocol definitely at least doubled your profits with some extra APYs. I'm guessing 20%, but we will see. And lots of early builders here, and we have some partnerships. Timon was partnering with Duckchain about the staking. I don't know, Shizzy, did you get your Bitcoin to stake in Duckchain?
I gotta check for it. I gotta check.
Oh,
from you.
so if you haven't participated, you didn't get in. But yeah, but if you participate, like in the past few weeks, you have already staked your Merlin Bitcoin into a new chain. They describe themselves as a consumer layer for AIs and stuff. But yeah, they're getting listed on OKX as well this Friday. So all these projects you participate early, you grow with them, you build community with them. You eventually have some results, and without spending any money. That's something we love. And also there are lots of other projects in early stage with Merlin last year. I'm pretty sure more than half of them will be going to TGE in Q1. So yeah, I think lots of work, time, effort finally paid off, and I hope all these projects do well in the secondary market.
Yeah, I definitely blame Yagobi for that. He was supposed to give me a heads up when that was starting.
Oh,
But that
I
was my
think
fault. I didn't keep up
I
with
think
it.
he participated. Yeah, he just didn't tell you.
Yeah, he just didn't tell me. Oh man, that's kind of messed up.
Yeah,
Uh,
imagine just staking your first Bitcoin on Timan for like 3 weeks, and they got listed on OKX. So it's a very very like good deal.
Yeah, man.
So Jeff, where do you think BTC Fi on Merlin is headed? Have you seen any kind of breakout candidates in terms of maybe a sector, whether it's staking your Bitcoin for yield or something with NFTs or meme fi or etc. What's it look like over the next few months?
Yeah, I think first, not trying to take the credits, but we definitely started the BTC staking era last year. Before that, nobody believed in BTC staking or Bitcoin Layer 2 or bridging Bitcoin to another chain or signing your Bitcoin to another protocol, this kind of stuff. But yeah, we started this. We tried a very different thing last year that allows people to stake their ordinals, which is NFT and BS20. That was a huge failure. When I say huge failure, it's because eventually you will see, because all these memes and altcoins, the price are going up and downs like a lot. So when you stake that token there, you'll get very very decent APY. On Merlin, Merlin sales staking, I think it was like 60 to 80% APY, which is crazy. But lots of tokens they dropped like 80%, or even to zero liquidity. That's what happens to ordinals. We have to admit. So that is bad for those users. I mean, if you have that token in your wallet, probably you won't dump it. But if you stake, you'll blame the person who asked you to stake. So then we realized Bitcoin is probably the only thing that makes sense and actually less risk, because Bitcoin price is always kind of stable, steady going up. So no matter the APY is 1% or 5%, at least your Bitcoin is worth much more than last year. And that's what happened later last year. Lots of Bitcoin liquid restaking token, Solve, Bedrock, Lorenzo, Pump BTC, Lombard, all these new Bitcoin staking protocol coming up, along with Babylon, allows you to self-custody your Bitcoin on layer 1 to do signature. But I'm not trying to go into the tech details, but at least lots of new projects coming up. So introducing the word about BTC staking, because before, if you have Bitcoin, you don't have any yields. But right now, at least you have some yields. Not trying to argue the yields are real or not, but at least most people make money. So I think in a later in a few months, I think BTC Fi will of course have some new protocols, but I think the biggest thing is Solve and Babylon. And second is, can these Bitcoin have real yields, which means the yields coming from not TGE but from actual activities? Because all these yields we're talking about now is because they're allocating their tokens to you because you staked, you pumped their TVL, they look good. For VCs and exchanges, they got listed and they give you back the token. I'm being very transparent here, but I think the real yield is coming from actual transactions and trading activities. That's what I keep saying for the past 6 months on every show. So if we can see that coming, I think BTC staking will be a healthy and long-term thing. But before saying that, I still think it's a short-term thing. People should not get too hyped about it. But every new thing is because there's some guys trying to break the rules, trying to found the boundaries, trying to do new things. So at least we should be like we should not be too cynical about them, because everything's new in BTC.
So where are you seeing the most activity on Merlin chain in general? Is it mostly still on just Merlin swap and people trading? Or have users migrated to some of the more experimental products?
Yeah, so I think Bitcoin Layer 2 opened possibility for new things. I'm not saying it can bring new things lots of new things in layer 2. But to be honest, I think Merlin did bring like lots of new things, like Bitcoin lending, Bitcoin staking, and most of these projects get listed or going to BTG in a short period of time. But I think opening that window or possibility is important, because before that you can only trade ruins or BRC20 or ordinals on layer 1. But right now you have multiple ways to trade them, and to be honest, trading them on layer 2 is much easier and faster and cheaper, and like lots of them have much better liquidity on layer 1. I'm not saying all of them, but lots of them have better liquidity. So I think that is something we have already done. But I think, I'm guessing, because like last week we heard 3 proposals from 3 different layer 1 assets, which having lots of users, over 20-30 million market cap. So not like small projects, but like fairly like big projects. They want to like educate their users to trade on Merlin. So we will have like incentives there, ask users to bridge their ordinals or ruins to layer 2, start trading there, because I think people finally realized Merlin is the only chain that allows users to trade Bitcoin layer 1 assets. For example, if you have pizza, like the only place you can trade right now is central exchange or basically OKX platform, Web3 platform, because they have BRC20 liquidity. No other place have any BRC20 liquidity. So if they want to do something, for example, staking, staking to vote, staking to get NFT, doing lending, doing perps, if they want to do that, that can only happen on layer 2. And I mean, not Merlin only, but that can happen on many layer 2s. But right now, Merlin is the one who's doing that. So yes, I think it opens some possibilities. But the next phase is we have to work hard. We have to get more builders to actually build for that. So like for example, AI. If we want to do AI Launchpad, you definitely cannot do that on Bitcoin layer 1. Virtuous has proved that on Base. Pump Fund and lots of other platforms prove that on Solana and Ethereum. So if any new narrative comes up, I believe layer 2 is the the ecosystem who can catch this in the fastest way. So I think that is another good thing about layer 2.
Yeah, 100% agree. And then you have right now the biggest narrative, just like you mentioned, is AI. But I think a big narrative in future is going to be BTC-Fi, right? Because now you have the AI, and you can basically tell it like, "Yo, get me the best yield." And what it's going to do, it's people are not even going to notice they're using Merlin chain, but it's going to be able to bridge it to Merlin chain, and then potentially, keep dabbling in yield, go in this pool, and then when this gets a little diluted, you go in this one. Do you see something like that happening, especially stuff like what Jake's building with Emblem Vault with these AI and these smart wallets?
Yes, 2 things. I think first is the best experience is the users don't have to worry about the bridging, the wallet and stuff. They just think this whole experience is very spontaneous, is very smooth. Second thing is I'm always the person who is trying to be too honest. I don't think BTC-Fi is that huge that people have lots of choices right now, so they need an agent to decide for them. But what you are saying is definitely going to happen in the future. But right now is we need builders to build infrastructures, to build platforms, to build all these tools to make this happen in the future. But yeah, so I'm not saying it can happen like in a very short period of time. But definitely, when we have more users, protocols for BTC-Fi, we have more users who are trying to participate in these BTC-Fi activities. Yes, of course.
Jeff, how do you go about weighing new trends that are proliferating in crypto as somebody who's, the founder of a layer 2? Crypto has so many different narratives that pop up every few weeks. Some of them are major trends. Some of them are just small kind of metas that, happen and then they disappear. As somebody who's operating Merlin, what is the internal process like of evaluating these different trends and then attempting to bring them over to the chain?
Yeah, I think when it comes to crypto, I think, in my mind, only few things matter. First is always liquidity. the reason Pump Fund is so successful because it creates another way to launch your token with much better liquidity and also safer procedure than before. Because before when you see a pool on Uniswap, you're afraid if they're gonna rug or not. But now on Pump Fund, you're not afraid about that, and also it has tons of liquidity. The liquidity we saw on Solana never happened before, even during the DeFi summer. So I think the first thing is always liquidity. So if your protocol or your product can bring more liquidity and easier entry, like for users to entry, I think that is something that very, very special and unique. And that's the like coming to Bitcoin, and that's I think the problem about all these protocols right now is because nobody has liquidity. If you check on any platform data, you can see that. The second thing is always something new. I think all these AI agents right now, comparing to Web2, it's kindergarten level. It's not a bad thing. It's a start. Like all these metaverse games we saw in the last cycle, it's kindergarten level. Comparing to Blizzard, comparing to Ubisoft. So yeah, I think, but the narrative which is new, and new means new narrative, new experience. Users see that as the future of the of the whole tech industry. Will definitely bring tractions, people's attention. So I think that's why AI is going crazy in the past few weeks. And I think the third thing is always about the tech infras. When we see like BitVM, I'm a huge fan of BitVM. I think it actually solves problem. On the other side, I'm not such a huge fan about Opcat. I know many people will be pissed off right now, but as a tech person, I'm a huge fan about BitVM because it can actually solve some problems. And also, if you get them like on news, I think it's bullshit. But when I actually try them, it actually makes sense. It solves lots of problems that people cannot solve, like bridging. Also like layer 0, also ZK rollups. ZK rollups is kind of down right now, but I think it will eventually go up. It's just a matter of time, efficiency, and cost. So I think that's the three things in crypto to measure like what the project is doing well or not. Is liquidity, is attention, and the tech revolution, or the tech upgrade for any solution.
So if you mentioned like Newbit and stuff like that, and we recently saw a tweet from Merlin Chain's X account. Do you think, because you guys have a bridge, right? Do you think people are going to actually bridge over their BRC20s, bridge over their runes to kind of play in this Ordinals type of environment? Because right now it's almost impossible to get people to do anything that's not like on layer 1.
I think it's hard. Yeah, I think it's hard. Yeah, a couple times before. The one thing I tell them, it's it's hard. It's not because this, that, or like right now, if everyone bridges their dog to Merlin chain, I bet the liquidity will be better, but I don't think the price will be higher. So if the price won't be higher, people just like, the only thing can make dog price like doubles right now is Coinbase or Upbit or Binance listed, right? To be honest. So I think it's hard to motivate users, especially current users, to do anything. But I think their intention is trying to bring a new narrative that make people try and think and to see what's going on next. So I think that is a good thing. We need like new innovations in the space. But personally, I think right now, current stage is going to be hard to motivate any user to do anything.
Yeah, everyone just wants the right liquidity. Definitely drives the attention. I've learned that through Emblem, that if there's a potential profit on the other side, people will jump through 10 hoops and ladders to try to get to whatever they need to do, like no matter how kind of frustrating it is. So I guess then this kind of leads to, we're in January. How much more of this cycle do you think still exists? Do you think that we're in this period now where we're still kind of early in the cycle? Do you think that there's no cycle and we're in kind of a new paradigm because of ETFs and all of these kind of detached communities from one another? And then, yeah, what is your kind of outlook over the next year for the crypto industry?
Yeah, I think we are in the middle of the cycle. It's like a bull run in the past few months. And I would say the reason I say that is because I feel like not many people are making tons of money right now. So every bull market, when the bubble comes, and everybody's FOMO, is because like everyone you see in your life makes like a lot of money. He buys a new car, he buys a new house. A teenager who's graduating from middle school becomes a billionaire, like sorry, a millionaire. Like all these example stories is the like the symbol of the bull market. But right now we only see Bitcoins going up, not even Ethereum. Ethereum didn't even reach their like all-time high from last cycle. I think it's like 4,800, right? It's like right now it's like 2,900. So I don't think like the bull market has ended. It definitely started, because Bitcoin is coming from 30K to like 100K, but I don't think it ended. So right now it's like a resting phase. People are like resting a little bit, trying to figure out what to do next. And I think that's like the last window we get. If the Bitcoin stays weak for the next 1 month or 2 months, I think that time is most valuable. So if you're trying to do something, no matter trading or building, you have to use this time like very, very efficiently. You have to work 24/7 to be able to to get something back when the bull market actually comes.
Yeah, during these rest periods, I always like to share to the timeline that maybe it's not the best experience for the trader, but during these cool off periods, it's the best experience for the developers, and that's what eventually leads price, right? Because when the number's going up, the devs or Jeff, you're getting DM'd 400 times asking, when, or people are focusing on price. And so you kind of have to deprioritize the development a little bit to prioritize more of, community management and such. But now when price chills, you get to have these 2 or 3 hour conversations with your dev team to really get to the nuts and bolts of things.
100%. Yeah. I think that's the, the contradiction in humanity, that when the market is crazy, everybody's doesn't sleep, looking at the charts like all the time. But when the market is down, people are like, okay, I'm laying down, I don't care. But that's exactly the moment that you should to think, like if I have 100 portfolios, I should cut like 90% of them. I should keep like 10% of them, and I should be sharp looking at the market, because that's the time the new alphas, the new narratives, the new projects coming up.
Yep. That's what happened with Ordinals. They were the leader of that, right? It was 2 months, 3 months after the FTX implosion, after everyone chilled out, you had Ordinals. And then a few months after that, it was meme coins. And then it was, then it was the Bitcoin L2 season, launch pads and everything and such. Now it's AI, it's cooling off, and should be kind of interesting to see what happens.
Yep.
Jeff, I'm curious, like being in the West, we're kind of like in this bubble, but I'm curious of like how what the East looks at what's going on in the next 7 days. We're getting a bullish administration, right? We're actually going to get crypto regulation here in the West, in the US, and potentially other places as well, going to kind of follow through. Is that a big deal to people in the East? What is going on with the Trump administration, or not really?
Yeah, of course, a big deal. People always look like the Nasdaq first, and then to Bitcoin, and then to alts. So of course it's a big deal, and I'm very bullish on the US market, because like without the ETFs, the regulations, it's like something I saw like recently. Like lots of my friends are in Silicon Valley right now. They saw all these builders, developers, they're bullish than ever, because in the past 4 years you cannot do anything in crypto. Everything's like regulated. People are worried about getting problems and stuff. But now somehow you can do crypto, and also the AI thing, because like there are too many developers there. Most of them don't make like a lot of money, but they finally realized AI and crypto can be integrated like in a very cool way, or like bubble way. So all these builders in Silicon Valley, they are very, very bullish, and the good thing about them is, I would say like many devs in Asia, they care about the market. They want to launch their tokens to make a fortune when the market is good. not trying to be stereotype, but like that's how like many developers think. But in the Silicon Valley, like lots of the builders, they actually don't care about the market. They just think, it's like the window's open. I can do crypto and I can do AI, so I can build stuff, like really cool, no matter it's in like 3 days or 3 months or 3 years. So I think that's a healthy trend for the new builders coming up in US. That's something we have been missing in the past few years.
Over the weekend too, Raul Pal came out and he's basically said that the AI that's in crypto right now is like 2 years old. He basically came out and said that like the stuff that's going on in Silicon Valley and stuff like that are just way more advanced, and we're kind of getting this little push right now because it's we're getting the first sense of that. Speaking of, like, when you talk to people in Silicon Valley, do you see that as well? Are we just getting like our feet wet right now with the amount of AI that's coming?
Yeah, I mean, first comparing to Web 2, the AI agents we have right now in crypto is, like I said, like kindergarten. But I'm not saying it's a bad thing, because I actually think the users in Web 3 care about AI much more than Web 2. Because in Web 2, you're using ChatGPT, you're using this agent, you're using character AI for fun. Most users, they don't really care about what happened there. This is used for fun, for companionship, for like they don't dig into it. But in Web3, in the past few weeks, the thing I saw is lots of Web3 users, they dig into these AI things and they actually try everything, and they can tell which one is better than the other ones. So I think that's a good sign for builders to come to Web3 to actually build this. And because it's two like totally different worlds, so you can see in crypto, the agents for DeFi, for trading, for data is actually more popular than companionship. So if you build like a virtual AI girlfriend on Twitter, nobody cares, right? Because I'm here to make money. So I think it's very, very different like ecosystems. But I'm really looking forward to see more AI products in Web3. I saw like lots of the new AI DeFi, AI metaverse narrative coming up. Most of the products suck, but I'm hoping to see more convincing ones in the coming few months.
Yeah, I keep saying like all these travel agents pop up, right? But I'm like, have you guys tried Expedia? Like their AI agent on the page is absolutely amazing. Like I don't understand why like this thing Dora is a $6 million like on virtuals, and I'm like in my head I'm like, have you guys looked at Expedia? Like their AI agent is amazing over there. Like I don't understand. So that's like my problem with AI right now is like if you can't beat what we have in Web 2, then how can it make money in Web 3?
Yeah, that's why you don't make money on them. Because the DJs don't care.
Yeah, the one thing that crypto does is it definitely puts experimentation into hyperdrive. Like the best thing that what shows a builder that the market is interested in something is obviously continually pumping a token. So like, for example, I'll just use like our recent experience with our own AI project, Tensorium. We built like the infrastructure for Emblem AI, and then we tried to stealth launch the token on Pump Fund. And within like a few hours, the trenches figured out that we had launched it. And then, they pumped it to $18 million, and they've sent it to its all-time high 3 times in the last few weeks. And to us, that just shows they're interested in it. They're like, we want you to continue building this project. And so for us, we're like, okay, we have to kind of deprioritize some of the other stuff to continue to build this project because that's what the market wants. And I think that's happening in the AI space right now, where they pumped kind of AI XBT. So it's just showing to the market alpha has a huge premium on everything. And then, eventually the market got tired of all the reply bots and they started calling it slot bots. And so now the market's telling the AI space, we want something new. And now it's starting to move into this kind of like DeFi AI kind of crossover. I think that's kind of in the early stages, but I do suspect that you'll probably see 5 to 10 of these different sectors form and have leaders kind of proliferate. And then the rest will probably kind of go to zero. But you see this with this kind of idea propels every cycle, right? It's like same thing with like the Bitcoin layer 2s. You had Merlin, who kind of is leading the EVM sector, right? You kind of have like Arch is leading the TE kind of side of things, right? Stacks has its own kind of lead within Clarity. And then the market pumps the token price or shows with TVL or with attention. And then over time, all of the other ones kind of slowly build out and you have leaders.
Yeah.
Jeff, I actually have a question about Merlin token. You know, somebody who's launched L2, had a lot of success. What is the future of the Merlin token? And then how have your thoughts around it changed? You know, initially when you launched, like, governance tokens were kind of, you know, popular, or maybe they're, but now it seems like governance tokens are kind of deprioritized and people want something else. So from launch to today, how have your thoughts changed about Merlin token, and what does the future of it look like?
Yeah, I think any tokenomics is BS. First, you know, Bitcoin doesn't have any tokenomics, and like, you know, Arbitrum, there are Ethereum there too. Like, can you say like what's the utilities for ARB? Like nobody, like, right? Like Uniswap. I think most, I'm not saying like 100% every one of them, because there are some, you know, stable coins and DeFi stuff, they actually have some like utilities and stuff. But I think like 99%, most of them, the tokenomics is BS, which I think will be changed, you know, in the future. And the second thing is, I think only two ways to make your token popular, or, you know, in a broader community, is either you have like attention, right? Like Dodge, like all these meme tokens. Either you have attention that everybody loves, you know, your community, your value, whatever, you know, like your icon because it's a dog. Or the other way is many people are using that. That's what happened with you know, Solana and the virtuals, because like everybody's trying to launch a meme or AI agent to be rich. You know, that's what DJs want. And of course, everyone wants to trade those tokens to be rich. But if you are trying to launch that or trade that, you have to use Solana or virtuals or BNB or Tron to do so. So bring more users to have that token, to use that token to become, you know, richer and richer. The expectation there is what drives the token price to a higher level. So I think for Merlin chain to stay in the ecosystem longer, healthier, to get more users and builders in the future, for the price to be higher in the future, I think that's the most important thing that we have to achieve. Besides that, I think, you know, of course, getting listed on more exchanges, getting more communities to get involved, you know, to do better marketing. Of course, like all of that can help. But I think the most important thing is that users hold your tokens, can actually do something. But yeah, I think it's kind of hard to build an ecosystem or layer 2 or layer 1 in a very short period of time. That's what I said, like, you know, for a lot of times. Like Tron Network was in 2017. Nobody cares. You know, people think it's a fork. It's a fork for Ethereum. Everybody laughed, you know, at the Tron Foundation, Justin Sun. But, you know, 3 years later, 4 years later, they are the biggest chain for stable tokens. Like even right now, they're biggest chain for, you know, USDT, much more than Ethereum right now. So people have utilities, you know, for the Tron token. And, you know, Solana was launched, I think, 2020. And, you know, 4 years later, people trade memes on Solana. Before that, before 2024, nobody used Solana chain. Like to do what, right? There's no FT there, no GameFi there, no social fi there. Nobody does anything there. But right now they have memes and stuff. So I think, you know, if you're trying to build like a smaller product, like, you know, a marketplace, of course you have like lots of users. You have your PMF on first day. But if you're trying to build an ecosystem, a layer 2, a layer 1, and you're not trying to dump the token on day 1 and then stop building, it's a very, very hard, you know, hard and long journey to do that. But yeah, I think for me personally, my biggest goal is to still talk about Merlin chain 4 years later. I think if I can still do that, that means, you know, we somehow succeeded.
Yeah. 100%. I agree. And the thing is with chain tokens, right? Like they're awesome. They're you know, you can use Merlin as a gas token now, which is absolutely amazing because it's so cheap now. But like it's all about the dApps, right? Like base chain isn't anything without virtuals, right? Right now. I mean, no one's going to be using it. And I think, you know, with BTC.fund coming and now they're kind of jumping into the AI launchpad game. And then, you know, you have to lock up the Merlin token, right? They don't have a token, so that's another way for Merlin to really have utility, because with Base you're using the virtual token, but on Merlin, when these dApps are building there, a lot of them are going to be using the Merl token as well. Do you see like that being something that's coming? Do you feel like a lot of people are going to like look for Bitcoin layer 2 chains to kind of build on, especially when these L2s on Ethereum are getting so like, you can't build the virtuals on Base anymore because it's already there?
Yeah, I think that's like the ultimate goal for every project. I think every project needs to find their PMF, and like I said before, it takes like the two most successful chains like Tron and Solana to do that in like 3 to 4 years. So I think it's something you cannot expect to find them in a very short period of time. It all matters if you keep building and trying. Like I bet Justin Sun didn't know Tron is built for stable coins when he built it. I bet Solana team is not trying to build a meme chain when they start like building that like in the first place. So you have to find that organically. It's not something like I saw like lots of chains, they're trying to build BTC5 for their narrative. They're trying to make their chain solely for BTC5. Sometimes you just need to pivot. You just need to like I saw all these builders, for all these chains, like how they pivoted like so many times. Virtual team, they have pivoted for so many times. So I think the only thing matters is to be patient and to keep building. That's something I would say most crypto builders don't have in their mindset, or like they cannot hold for like this like kind of like long time.
Yeah, you see that time and time again with builders of being able to pivot and adopt. Like virtuals had been around, I think, for 4 years, but they were something completely different. For you as a builder, you were kind of the first to lead BTC L2 for an EVM, right? And you guys got a lot of hate for that. Now looking at it, 8 months later, do you feel like that was the right decision? And then was there any doubt along the last 8 months of, hey, maybe we shouldn't have built this on EVM and we should have tried to do this? That's something maybe a little bit more native to Bitcoin.
To be honest, like I never doubted to build EVM for Bitcoin, because I think that's kind of mindset difference between Asians and US like traders and community. Because in Asia we believe in like efficiency, like easier entry level for builders and users. I never thought about EVM versus Bitcoin is like a war, because like in my mind I think crypto is about building on top of each other. It's about more like permissionless way for users to do like anything, because like that's like I don't think Bitcoin is like a religion. I don't think decentralization is like something like we believe and we cannot like question like a Bible. So I think the EVM is something we have tested for billions of times, and it's much easier and safer. And if we can actually do rollups using BitVM on Bitcoin Layer 1, that completes everything. It doesn't matter if it's SVM or EVM or Move, whatever. If it can roll up to Bitcoin Layer 1 and be like sharing the same security level of Bitcoin Layer 1, I think it's done. And also, like I said before about Merlin ecosystems, you can see like Solve, Avalon, Surf. Like now you can see like staking to Duck Chain, like a Merlin Swap, like all these projects, because we are building EVM chain, so they can come. If you're looking at any other chains we're not using EVM, I would say first, I don't think you will see lots of great builders to start building there and achieve success. Like I cannot think of any like examples. Like nobody has done that before. Second is like you probably don't have like we're building for Bitcoin, right? We're building for Ordinals. Like I said, like, I think it's Ordinals there too. So you can see many people bridge their Ordinals and BRC20 and the ruins to that chain. So if they cannot have builders and users bridge their assets, like how are they like native? Like what kind of thing like do they build, right? No builders, no Bitcoin Layer 1 assets. How is that native? Because like many people say like this solution is more native, this thing is more native, but I think that's because I'm from Web 2. I always think the actual numbers and the utilities matters more than religion, belief, or politics.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with you. We had this same battle from Emblem Vault, which was kind of the first to, bridge Bitcoin NFTs to Ethereum. And there was so much hate of, hey, these aren't trading on layer one. And we're like, well, this is the only way you can trade, right? And the smart people adopt and they use the strengths. And eventually over time, everything kind of plays itself out. But then also for us, it's because Merlin is EVM, you guys are going to be one of the first to, when we deploy our new EVM build out, you guys are, it's just easy to plug into. And then from there, right, then it's up to Emblem and to Merlin to figure out what's the incentive to bring your rare pepes, or to bring your node monkeys, or to bring your stamps, or whatever the asset is there. And for us, it's just same thing. It's an efficiency thing. It's like, why not make this now? And then instead of, wallowing away saying, this needs to be layer one. And in the meantime, you see this happen to a lot of builders where they try to take this, the moral high ground of everything should be on layer one. And then the opportunity passes them by because of builders, like Merlin or Emblem or whoever, who just say, we're going to use what the tools that exist now, and then we'll assess the situation in a later time.
Yeah, and I think it's very there's no more high ground, because if you actually believe that, you should ask every exchange to delist Bitcoin, because it's not even EVM, it's Amazon servers, and all your runes and BRC20 you should be delisted from every exchange and just trade them on layer one.
Yeah, I completely agree.
Yeah, I guess my last question is, we talked about BitVM a little bit, and we recently had Newbit on the show. Do you think a ZK rollup or something like that, something similar to that, is possible using BitVM?
Yeah. I think I think most things haven't changed from a month ago or 2 months ago. It's still looking at the docs. We had some demo. We tried different ways to verify things on Bitcoin Layer 1. It definitely works. Right now, it's about efficiency and cost. So I think when it comes to efficiency and cost, the builders will eventually solve that. It's just a matter of time. And because BVM doesn't change Bitcoin Layer 1 at all, and BVM can be adopting, we are using Polygon Polygon CDK, and some people are using different kinds of rollups, but we try different SDKs and stuff. All of them can work on BVM, and it doesn't change Bitcoin Layer 1. So I think this is definitely promising in the future. But still, like I said, I don't think this will happen. Rollups will happen in 2025. But we'll see. Probably will happen, next year or 2 years later.
That's bullish, man. That's bullish.
You gotta build for a long time. You gotta be, when I interact with different builders, you think about the long-term time horizons, and then also the competent teams as well understand that dev timelines are dynamic. They're not static, right? It's tough to put an exact date on, hey, when is this going to be released? And when I talk with those who kind of understand that, it's generally the teams who have a longer time horizon. It's like, hey, whether it comes out in a week or a month, we're going to be here for a long time. And that's kind of the future we're building towards.
Yeah, but I mean, the market, they really don't care. They are always so hyped on day one when people bring new narratives, like DeFi on layer 1, swaps on layer 1, BitVM, Opcat. But later people start forgetting that, and they don't care anymore. That's the difference between the speculators and the builders.
Yeah, completely agree.
Well, hopefully we get a crazy bull run, right? where all that stuff matters. I remember back in 2021, it didn't matter what the narrative was, right? It was running, but we'll see if that happens later this year. I think it will. I think we get a narrative where it's just any bit of news is just bullish. I remember that was so much fun in 2021. It doesn't matter what it was. You could just look at, there's a news article for this. The token's up 30% in that 5 minutes.
Yeah, and any BS thing, crazy thing, about celebrity or any cartoon IP, anything happens on chain, it goes crazy. Everybody missed that, but still, we'll see.
Well, thanks, Jeff. It's been absolutely amazing. Merlin Monday. We'll let you go. We know it's late over there, but any last words?
Yeah, I think the first few weeks in 2025 doesn't do well for I think most of us. I don't think any I don't think anybody's like portfolio actually like goes up at all. But yeah, it's a bad time. But I think, like I said before, I think right now is the best time for anybody, to calm down, to think about what to do in 2025. I think Chinese New Year is coming up in 2 weeks, so probably the Asian community and builders are going to cool off like a little bit. But yeah, I think that's the best time to do so. Just like set your mind straight, focus on whatever you're building or trying to trade, and yeah.
Awesome.
Amazing.
Appreciate the conversation, Jeff. Good talking as always.
Yeah, nice talking to you, Jake, for the first time.
See you guys.
Yeah.
Bye.
All right, man. Absolutely amazing, dude. Thank you so much for doing this with me. I mean, it's doing interviews, those solo interviews are kind of tough. So when you have someone, especially with your experience, man, you've actually made that awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, I appreciate the invite. Always good to. It was cool to talk to Jeff for the first time. I've talked to him on Spaces a bunch of times, but to put the face, it builds those relationships so we could get stuff done. Like when we applied to the grant program for Merlin, it took like a few weeks. And so then I just messaged Jeff and I was just like, hey, can you just like fast track this conversation, please? So we could kind of move on to the next steps here. And that kind of stuff, just sticking together. And honestly, I'm more bullish on Merlin even now talking with him because he's someone who's like me as a builder, or I guess like a leader of a team, where you're just very blunt about what exists and you're not really trying to sugarcoat it. And even if the retail traders are affected by it, I think both of us are very transparent, and you kind of lead with that transparency. I think it's very healthy for the longevity of an ecosystem, rather than you do see a lot of teams, they try to sugarcoat narratives, right? Or they just become very aggressive or antagonistic to other communities. And that just kind of showcases the deficiencies. So I've become more mature over the last 2 years of being a builder, where any teams who are just aggressively attacking others, you definitely see that as a negative. And I just really try to stay away from those and trying to gravitate more towards people like Jeff, who are here for a longer term vision, and they're just focused solely on their project, and it doesn't matter what anybody else is doing.
Yeah, me 100%. Like Jeff feels like he's one of us, right? You're not like we talk to a lot of other chains like B Squared and stuff like that, and they don't feel like you don't give you that vibe of them being even here for anything but money. Jeff feels different. When you talk to Jeff, he just wants to build something cool. He's not here for the money. And I think once you can really see that in somebody, you just hear their words differently. And I definitely do that with Jeff. I mean, when we got to deal with Merlin, like Yagobi brought it to me, and I was like, I don't even care what it is, dude. I would love to deal with Jeff because, again, like he's just that person who's been here since. I mean, we met him in August of 2023, right? Like he was building Recursiverse, right? And then it became something else and something else and something else. And it's like, well, what's the next thing they're going to build? They have the chain now, and they can build. He's probably going to build an amazing DApp on top of it. And I definitely want to be a part of that in some way. And and that's one lucky. I'm like Merlin Monday. We get to interview. Like how often do you see a show being able to interview the CEO, well, the top guy of a chain, which is awesome.
Crypto has progressed to where, if you're the founder, CEO of a company, you're also essentially the main or one of the main marketers of it. And so CEOs now have to be publicly available. In the traditional world, when you walk into a business like a storefront, you have no idea who the fucking CEO is, right? You have no idea. They get to hide behind the scenes. But now today, you have to essentially be a content creator as well as, a leader within it, and to make these types of public appearances. I also stay very weary and very careful around negotiating or talking with teams where the CEO is not publicly facing. It's definitely a little bit of a red flag, although it is much harder to do, right? It's like Monday through Friday, waking breath, even though I work on the weekends, I'm up at 7 a.m. Pacific time, and I'm literally not off the computer until 8 or 9 p.m., like 14, 15 hours later. Obviously, you have a few breaks in between in terms of like going to the gym and eating and stuff, but it's a consistent grind, and you really have to dedicate your entire life to that. And it really shows through Jeff's words that he is one of those people who's not shying away from that one bit.
Yeah, man. When Bitcoin's 24/7, Web3 is 24/7. I mean, there's no done at 5:00 here, right? There's none of that. But I just want to thank you again, and definitely want to give you a few minutes to kind of talk to our audience and just anything that you want to speak about. It's yours.
Oh, awesome. Well, again, enjoyed the conversation. We are doing an Emblem Fridays, right? Is that what we're starting soon?
Yeah. I'm gonna finalize it with Yagobi when he gets back from vacation, but that's kind of where I'm leading it to. So
Awesome. Yeah. So that'll happen here soon. From the Emblem side, we talked about that originally, that we finally got our Bitcoin wallets working. So we should be delivering these founder vaults here in the next few weeks. So dear God, please let it be by the end of the month so that we can start kind of showcasing, this new transparent way of time lock vaults and token vesting. And then I would recommend looking into the Tensorium project, Tensorium AI. It's on the tokens on Solana, but really the agent itself will be transacting across chain. That to me, and maybe this is just a word of advice for builders, you should definitely expand outside of your realm, right? For us, we've been mostly Bitcoin, but we wanted to always have our place in Solana. And it was interesting because we had rebuilt Emblem over the last year and a half, and the only people who stuck around during that time is all the long-term believers. And so we had this kind of conversation of, how do we reignite momentum and interest and hype back into Emblem? And so starting this other project has really done that. We've brought in hundreds, if not thousands, of new people who are interested in Tensorium. And then once they start looking under the hood, they start looking at Emblem and start asking other questions. And so if you're a builder and you're kind of in that situation where you've become stagnant, really look into some other trends that are happening and really put yourself out there. And if it fails, it fails. But it's just something that I see happen with teams time and time again is they just continually bang their head against the wall, doing the same thing over and over and over. When in reality, you should probably be looking outside your ecosystem, build something, and then eventually use that as a funnel back to whatever the bread and butter is of the business.
100%. I just feel like, there's so many projects doing different things over on, on base with things like that, but no one's really thinking about Bitcoin. Bitcoin is the leader right now. The whole market depends on what Bitcoin does next. And for you guys to have a Bitcoin wallet mixed with AI, I mean, they're gonna have so many ideas and so many different dApps that are gonna use you guys, because any builder can now use what you guys built, right?
Yep. Yeah. So right now it's not open, but by the end of the week or maybe by the end of the month, you'll be able to, anybody could just go in and open the wallet and pair it to their API or to their agent to then go trade with it and do whatever they want. And that's the fun experimentation that we're likely to see. Ultimately, I think everything funnels back to Bitcoin. Building on it is a little bit tough because it moves much slower. I think that's a feature, not a bug, because of the 10-minute block times. And you see these different builders kind of lash out because of how slow the progress is, when in reality you should kind of embrace it and then do other things to use that as a funnel back to the main business. And so that's exactly what we're doing with the AI component, is funneling it all back to Bitcoin. You get your feet wet, and then eventually leads to kind of runes and ordinals. And Emblem's launching our token on runes, and we have the TGE in Q3. And so we actually now have skin in the game. It's not just me being a commentator of runes. And, I've been trading it a little bit, but for the most part, it's just my observations. But now this year I get to actually take a different look at it, where I actually have to make, vested interest decisions on, who I think is going to be the winner, because Emblem has a vested interest in whatever the outcome is for runes. And for me, it's something a little bit new, because this will be my first fungible token launch as a builder. And it's just very exciting. It's something that's very new, and it's an ecosystem I believe in that I think has tremendous upside, as long as it nails down a few small things here and there, whether it's Arch or kind of whatever the system is. And I think once that happens, you're going to see a gigantic migration back to Bitcoin for a lot of these traders, because they want that kind of simple experience.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that. Well, Arch, I mean, you guys are building for Solana, so you guys are already know how to use Rust, and then you guys are building for Bitcoin. So something like Arch comes along, let's just say 3-4 months down the line, you guys are already ready for that. The AI and the wallets are pretty much, it's going to be pretty easy integration.
Yeah, so there was like a few things. So when we had the founder vaults, one of the reasons why we wanted to unlock it in Q3 was first gives us time to, you know, expand Emblem to all these chains and do all these other things. But really the main point was we believe in runes, but it's not ready now. So we said, hey, you know, 9 months from now, 10 months from now, when this unlocks, there should be signs or at least an established AMM swap or some sort of trading experience that makes this attractive to people. But during this time, you know, people can buy the NFT on Ethereum that holds runes or holds the keys to where they're getting exposure through our progress. And then we're also kind of have now put our hat in the ring saying that we're here and we're building for runes. And so by the time that TG happens, you know, there's going to be teams who are launching new tokens, but people have already been building or participating in what we're doing, and there's hype built. And so the name brand is still already very established by the time that that happens. So that was really one of the main reasons behind the time lock. On the other side of this is whenever we get Emblem on Bitcoin, if that happens or when it happens, if Arch is using these lending protocols and if it works successful, right, you can attach a CryptoPunk to an Ordinal and then go lend against it on whatever NFT lending protocol. I guess it'd be Liquidium, right? That's using
I think
Arch.
Fluid's built in there as well.
Fluid as well. And so for us, this is still kind of some of the unknowns is people want Emblem on Bitcoin. Again, it's very technically difficult to do, but we do have a path to do it. It's what's the use case? I mean, the main one is, you know, people want to denominate CryptoPunks in Bitcoin because they think that eventually pumps the token higher because it defeats unit bias of Ethereum. But after that, it's, you know, what's the point, right? Why would I want to take my Pudgy Penguin to Bitcoin? And you need a frivolent DeFi experience to happen. So, and one of the issues that I've seen is, you know, we could do this with, hey, we could attach a vault to a tap token and do it in that way. But the easiest one to do it is Ordinals because it's more decentralized, right? It's a horizontally owned protocol. It's just like Casey builds it, he does some improvements here and there, but he's not incentivizing which application is going to be the winner. And I think on Bitcoin, this is the market at least is telling me that this is what they prefer over having a team come in, build the protocol, build the marketplace, incentivize the apps, choose the winners, etc. And so I think Arch at the end of that, I think Arch embraces that the best because now you have 5, I think, development teams have independently chose to go to use Arch. You've had Fluid
more
Token.
than that.
Yeah, it's at least the public ones. There's probably more.
Yeah.
But I think the reason why is Arch is smart. They've realized that Ordinals and Runes has built this, you know, it's decentralized in a way to where the application later battles it out. But also these communities have traded already, and there's users, and they don't want to have to start over in a new ecosystem. They just want to be able to take their Ordinal and go put it into a lending protocol, or they want to go take their rooms and deposit it into an LP. They don't want to have to start all over in these other ecosystems and be kind of segmented away. And so the smart teams are the ones that are approaching that. And to me, it just seems like Arch is really the only one who's identified that and gone forward. You know, some of the other ones is like Bitcoin OS, which is, I guess, focused more on bridging. OpNet had to create its own token ecosystem, and then Tap has its own token ecosystem as well. And from what I've just seen, it's nobody really wants to do that. It's the same issue with Fractal as well. Although I think Fractal will probably build their way out of it and find some specific use case. But with Bitcoin, it's so small right now that, you know, you got to go with wherever the winning narrative is. And if you're supporting runes and ordinals, then that's obviously at least what I'm seeing is the recipe to success.
Yeah, 100%. And it's never going to be about the protocol. It's going to be about the stuff that's built there. right? Like for instance, for Arch, we just had this for Arch Thursdays. We had this team come on. I can't remember their name, but they're doing a buy now pay later type of model where you use 20%. You put down 20% of the Bitcoin, and then you basically get the ordinal, but it stays with them, and then you kind of pay it off, and then you actually get it through a smart contract and stuff like that. So there's definitely some pretty amazing stuff being built, but it'll never be about like Tap being the best or Op not being the best or Arch being the best. It's about what is the best thing that I need. Like, what is the best DApp, decentralized application that I can use right now that I actually want to use and not forcing myself to use to get an airdrop? And I think that's the biggest thing right now is like we need stuff that is working right now on these chains and not like looking forward to it, right?
Yeah, I think developer activity is generally the best signal in terms of what is going to be the best ecosystem. And also, honestly, it's non-incentivized developer activity. So those the teams who I'm seeing who've moved over to Arch are doing it because they just think it's the best technology to get it done. On the other end, recently you've seen the same thing with Solana, right? Solana was a siloed ecosystem. It was built in its own language. Everyone thought it wouldn't work, but all the developers went into Solana and they figured out how to build in the language. And then they started using it because they felt that the Solana technology was essentially the best to use to build whatever they're trying to do. So I kind of see, I'm not comparing the two. I'm just saying in terms of like the users who went to Solana, they weren't incentivized with the token. They just were incentivized because they felt like that was the product market fit for their application. And so to me, it seems like that's what's happening with Arch. Obviously, if the developers chose, the users are still the main component, right? You can have all these developers go build the ecosystem, but the users are going to be the ones who decide at the end of the day. And it does seem like Arch has an incentive system for the users, for them to at least get through the door to start using this stuff. But I think that is going to be the main use cases. Are people going to be okay, using this kind of trusted execution environment system to use it? And ultimately, I think yes. I think if it's just as simple as, hey, signing in with your Xverse wallet to then go do all of these different activities, I think that's really all it takes.
Yeah, and you won't even have to know you're using Arch. That's the best part. Use your Xverse wallet, you just buy it. Like, oh wow, I can go take a loan out on it now. I just bought a no monkey, and now I can take a loan out on it. But the Bitcoin block's not even done yet. Like, what is going on? But you don't need to know. You just need to go use it, and that's like the best part. When in fact you can do that. You can go buy a puppet and take it to Fluid or Liquidium, and then take a loan out on it in that same Bitcoin 10 minutes. And I think that's a game changer for the Bitcoin ecosystem and forever. But it really comes down to the dApps, right? Like Solana wouldn't be anything without Pump Fund, right? I don't think, in my opinion, it wouldn't be anywhere near its all-time high without Pump Fund.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. At the end of the day, the best technology is the technology that's in the background and you don't even realize that you're using. This is something we're trying to do with Emblem, is to basically, most users won't realize that it is Emblem Vault. Like when people are trading Repepes, most people have no idea that Emblem is kind of powering that system on the back end. And that's exactly what we want to do. It seems like that's exactly what Arch wants to do. And I put this post out the other day, I think yesterday, that when I see different types of teams arguing on the timeline that their technology is better than the other person, or they're saying that they're better because they were first, it's definitely an ecosystem that I'm starting to shy away from personally, because they're missing the point that yes, you do need to have a sufficient level of technology, but the users are the ones who are going to determine what's the winner. And just shouting, I call it old man yells at cloud syndrome. If you're that person on the timeline that's just shouting that your technology is better and you have no users, then it's just going to stay that way of no users. And so that's just a personal decision I've made over the last few months. And it's going against, it is probably some of my trauma from the historical NFT community of them still in the same state of just yelling that, the value, they're the most important because they were first. And I do believe in it, but that type of community is really, it's really opened my eyes to seeing that then I've seen that now in other communities, other builders on Bitcoin, other NFT communities across all the different chains. And it's just such a losing formula. Just got to focus more on not yelling at clouds, building attractive systems, that users are interested in. And just like with Jeff and just like with Arch, I don't see them talking bad about other protocols. It's just more, we're just focused on building our own stuff, and that we have users that we're focusing on. It doesn't, other people can build, and yes, they're competition, but we don't really care, right? We're focused on us. And so those, I think, are the teams that really are the ones who are going to lead us into, you know, a crypto world, and the ones that I think will find success here in the cycle and beyond.
Yeah, 100% agree. And to your point, I think Polkadot, Cosmos, and ICP have the best technology, but you don't even see those founders. Like I couldn't even, besides Gavin Wood, but that's only because of Ethereum. I don't even know the other founders are, right? So it's like, but like having, your founders kind of in your ecosystem and actually dabbling in what you're doing, especially with Emblem Vault. I mean, you guys are out here every single day. I mean, so I think that's the key to winning. And especially, even the Solana CEO, you still see him all everywhere. So that's definitely the key to winning, being a part of the community. So.
Yeah, you even see Toli is actually quite positive about Ethereum, even though everyone trashes Ethereum. He comes out and supports it, like their modularity approach. Obviously, he then shit posts on, like the bankless guys and stuff who are just completely oblivious to a lot of things. But like Toli, I wasn't against Solana. I just like didn't use it really. But as I've been following him, I think he's also a pretty good shining example of what you want as a leader of a protocol, is somebody to say, hey, we're optimizing for this stuff, but other products can still exist and they can still actually be quite successful. He's like, we're just building kind of two different things and optimizing for that. And that you don't really see him shitting on other chains. He's actually quite supportive of these other people. He shits on people for sure, which definitely should shit on people, but very rarely see him shitting on protocols from a technology standpoint. And so just my suggestion would just be surround yourself with those. If you're a builder, surround yourself with those type of people, and you will eventually find success, because you will also adopt a lot of those traits that those winning founders possess.
Yeah, 100%. It's kind of like never be the smartest person in the room, right? Always have people around you that are actually building something amazing. Having buildings around you that are actually building for the future, and you all have one mission that's aligned. And I think that's how you have a winning ecosystem for sure.
Yeah, we're getting there, my friend. We're getting there. We're only 13 days into 2025. Dear God, I already got bags under my eyes. So hopefully we survive it all the way through.
We just need number to go up. We all need to get rich, and then we'll figure it out after that. But again, just want to thank you again, man. And I know you're busy, and I'll let you go. Thank you.
Yeah, appreciate it, brother.
See you, man.
See ya.
All right, guys. I'm still gonna hang out with you guys for a little bit, if you don't mind. I got some stuff to go over, but I kind of want to read the chat a little bit here. Let's kind of see what you guys are saying. Let's go to Peter. Peter says Arch is incentivizing developers, though, so it's not fully accurate that only reward users to engage in their testnet campaign. Yeah, but the thing is, they're not really incentivizing devs as much as you think they are, because like we're partnered with Fluid, and Fluid's kind of building over there for kind of free. Right, so it's like they want to build something, because Fluid's, their borrowing and lending is it's not working as well as it is on Cardano, right? Because of once you take out a loan, now the person has to come back and stuff like that. Same thing Liquidium's doing. So building on Arch will allow them to kind of do what they want to do within that Bitcoin environment for sure. Kal-El says completely first is first, counts for nothing unless it has value. 100%. We Dow says GM, what's up, man? Thank you so much for being here. Mike Bennett says AI agents will be our bosses who set timelines and consequences for missing them. I hope not, man. That's a scary world there. But Crypto Living says these ridiculous staking rewards cause me deja vu feelings for Alex Masensky and Doquan. Be careful, guys. For me, once shame on you. You're thinking differently though. Like with Babylon, you're just kind of locking your Bitcoin up in your own wallet, and they're incentivizing you to do that. So, and you got to remember, Masensky and Doquan, like a lot of that, especially with Alex Masensky, that was centralized. You're giving him your stuff. It's completely different in a decentralized environment. And with Doquan, I mean, there really wasn't much staking with Doquan. That was just misallocation of an algo, of an algo. Like everyone trusted an algo to kind of be the stablecoin with nothing backing it. Everyone was investing in a stablecoin with nothing behind it, right? So I don't think I don't think you're correct here, man. I don't think it has anything to do with decentralized staking, especially when it's in a smart contract. Yeah, so you definitely look into smart contracts stuff like that. It's different than Alex Mercent, yeah, what they were doing at over there in the centralized platforms. PJNZ says, good morning. What's up, buddy? Mike Bennett is here. Akala is here. Shout out to you guys. Supervan says, OCM's DAO just created a huge war chest for marketing. I think they're going to make a lot of noise 2025. Yeah, I definitely see that as well. ICU says, taking a snapshot of my portfolio to compare it when an all-time high is coming. Yeah, that's a great idea. Everyone should do that right now. Take a snapshot of, your portfolio, and then, you don't got to give the amounts, but like you could give the percentages and stuff like that as well. But that's actually a really good idea. Matt says, what's Jake's thoughts about stamps? I wish I would have saw that sooner. That's a great question. I'll definitely get that next time I see him. I think that's everything I see here. Then we have PJ says, off topic, watching the LA situation from NZ makes me think of how storing keys and ledgers. Yes, 100%. I highly recommend bulletproof bags. Not bulletproof bags, fireproof bags. I have a few. What I do is I stick, like whatever I have my words written on inside a fireproof bag, and I put that fireproof bag inside another fireproof bag, and then put that into a safe. Right. So it's a very situation, but I'm hoping that if there was ever an LA situation here, that I could, that would be safe, and potentially I'd be able to grab it my way out. That would be the best bet. But I know a lot of people didn't. But there was a 70-year-old lady who lost her Bitcoin keys because she had them written down on a piece of paper, and that paper is no longer paper, is now ash. So yeah, you have to. And another thing that I do too is, the people that I care about, maybe I'll hide a piece of paper in their house. Maybe I'll tape a piece of paper to my mom's ceiling that she won't even know is there, right? So, or a garage or something. Maybe you put it, hide it under a rug or something, right? So that's another thing. You just, every now and then, just check to make sure it's still there. But that's some possibility too. Maybe have it in different places, or if you have a work. What I used to do when I was working, I had my seed phrases also at work hidden somewhere that nobody else would look, right? It's got to think it's only a piece of paper at the end of the day, or a book in my case. But yeah. WebJoe says, fluid passes floor just went up a lot. Did it really? Let me check that out. Yeah, check it out right here. Show you guys what is going on. Because I actually bought one this morning. Or what might have been yesterday. Holy crap, they just doubled. You are not lying, my friend. Somebody came in and just bought up that floor 100%. So shout out to Fluid, man. Damn, 3 away from 0 to 3.9. But guys, just so you guys are aware, 3 of these equal 1 black one. So, and two equal 1 black. So that's kind of a way to judge it. So if a black one is 0.12, do the math, 3, 6, 9, 12. So it's about the same price as a black one. But wow, people were just buying the crap out of these today. I'm curious how many are staked now. So all you got to do is go to fluidtokens.com. Show my screen here again. Yeah, I mean, Mike Bennett's right. I mean, you can tattoo your seed phrase. Yeah, you can definitely do that. I mean, that's up to you 100%. Or you can memorize it too. Like my first ever seed phrase, I have it completely memorized. I put it in song form. So like I sing it. The words are like, I don't want to say what the words are, but that's one way you can do too. Just memorize it. If it's in your head, you never lose it. And especially if you put it in song form. I know a lot of you guys can rap a whole verse of your favorite song. Just rap your words. So, let's go to staking here. And then it should pop up in a second. It just takes up 387. Nice. Okay, cool. We're growing here, guys. I think we're gonna get past 400. So we will see. We will see if we do. But it's really simple. Just stake it. You said stake. I actually think I have one that I bought yesterday. It'll get me as number 20 if it comes up. But I might have to sign into my wallet here. Yep, there it is. And I'm gonna come in here, plop that there. I'm gonna come down. I'm gonna stake it. Oh, yeah, guys, make sure you're not using a ledger, because they've had some issues with people using a ledger because of the wallet thing there. I'm going to sign into my wallet. Unlock. Bring it back over here. It is going to cost me a few bucks, which I'm okay with because I know the value of that FLDT token, in my opinion, it's going to 10x. So it looks like it's going to cost me about 20 bucks to stake it. I don't care. I'm down. Sign me up. All right, cool. I now have 20 staked. So if you go back to your staked, you can kind of see I got 19, so now I just added one more, so now I have 20 staked. And I've been just buying them off the floor. I got lucky now. I mean, I got really lucky because I was getting at like 0.0007. I was telling you guys about this for a long time. They got really, really cheap. So I highly recommend if you have one, stake it. There were 20% interest for USTC coin. I think he's referring to that. Yeah, I mean, but you still that was UST. Yeah, you were getting 20% interest, but on a coin with nothing backing it, a stable coin, nothing backing it. At least, with Tether or USDC, I didn't get into that Luna stuff. So I definitely see what you're saying there, but I mean, that's the decision you make. I mean, you're getting 20% off a stable coin that's not backed by anything. I mean, I don't know. I see the flaws in that right away. But like with your Bitcoin and stuff like that, when you're locking it into a smart contract, you don't really have anything to worry about because there's no one on the other side taking your Bitcoin and going to find yield with it, right? But in a smart contract, you don't have to worry about, and you don't have to worry about it. If you're staking Bitcoin, you have nothing to worry about because you know that Bitcoin's always gonna be worth value. But if you're staking, I don't know, a token that might go away in a few years, then you'll probably get more yield for it, but that's a decision that you have to make yourself. So all right. Let's check out some of our partners here. Let's check out Emblem Vision. Let's kind of see what they have going on over here. If you guys are still hanging out with me, that is awesome. I'm just gonna check out our partners, kind of go through see kind of what they're building and see their site. So this is Emblem Vision. This was Jake's project that they're building this. He's a CEO of Emblem Vault. And yeah, so just go to Emblem Vision. You guys can see everything that they're building here. I can't wait to see their wallet, their Bitcoin wallet with the AI. It's gonna be awesome, guys. So definitely check out that. But you can check out the vaults, activity and stuff like that. So, but that's Emblem. I know they have a marketplace as well. There it is. It's emblem.markets. But you can kind of see everything they have. They have the rare Pepes. There's not many places that you can get these at, but if you wanted to, you can get them everything at emblem.markets here. Emblem.vision is their other site, but definitely check out what they have here. I'm actually thinking about getting a rare Pepe. I don't know. I just kind of just want one for the lore, but not financial voice. It's just kind of me on like a long-term hold because who knows? These things could really start to fly up eventually in the future. So R6 meta protocol. Oh wow, yeah, you can get some other stuff here. Inscriptions. Oh wow. But yeah. All right, let's check out BTC Bet BTC. That's a betbtc.win. Check them out, guys. You guys can take markets up. So it's easy. Sign in. What they do is they use ICP backend and Bitcoin front end. So just connect your wallet. And all of our partners, anyway, if you use the correct sites, you don't have nothing to worry about. We make sure we do our due diligence with all of our partners. So you're not going to get rugged using that, but that's up to you if you want to use it like a wallet. But see, I have $245. Let's look at some markets here. Let's kind of see what is going on. Let's see what's will Pups World Peace have a spot listing on a tier 1 exchange in Q1 of 2025? Interesting. Let's try. Sorry, guys. Okay, I haven't. It might be one that's already done already. I know they were having some issues with this 404 because they are pushing an update through soon. Actually, you know what I want to do? I want to do a sports bet. Let's go to the NFL. I'm a big Eagles fan. I'm in Philly, so I'll take out a bet on the Eagles here. Let's go sports NFL. Doesn't seem like it's working here. Come on. Those look like they might be pushing an update through right now. Probably why things aren't working. Regional finances, crypto. I wonder what is going on. Could be my computer as well. I might have a VPN on. But yeah, but check out BTC.fun. I'm going to find out. That's betbtc.win. I'm definitely going to find out what is going on with that. But then let's check out bitperp.io. So guys, Bitperp right now, their paper trading competition isn't live yet, but you guys can get a head start, start trading over there. Could be a really good idea because what they said. I mean, I'm not in line to you guys, man. He said they want to enrich their users, and they had no token right now. So which usually means to me is potential airdrop. So yeah, so you can come here, you get some USDT. Botonics testnet is the only one available right now. So you just have to get your MetaMask with the Botonics and make some trades. Probably go long here. I mean, I don't know. Go short, go long, who knows? But you check out everything. They do have their charts here as well. You guys can mess with. But that's it's bitperp.io. And then we were just checking out Fluid tokens. But yeah, definitely want to check them out, guys. If you have a pass, I highly, it's not financial advice at all, but I definitely think if you have one, I mean, what are you gonna do with it after the staking goes out? Like, what are you possibly gonna do with it, right? So definitely go here, hit staking, and they're gonna have more vaults. He just told me today. I can't say right now, but there's some big people that are going to be launching something here as well. So look out for that. So if you do have some other projects, keep an eye out on Fluid, guys. Fluid's going to be, they're going to lead the space in a lot of things. So definitely want to check them out. That's fluidtokens.com. And then, check out Ordinal Hive as well. Ordinal Hive and Foxy. Go to Ordinal Hive. There it is. beta.ordinalhive.io. Screen back up. And they should be launching really soon, guys. Really, really soon. So it's beta.ordinalhive.io. They're going to be an aggregator. You're going to be able to, let's just say there's some ordinal that you want on OKX. There's one on Unisat, and there's one on Magic Eden. Using Ordinal Hive is going to allow you to get the cheapest price. You're going to be able to see everything that's listed, and it's going to tell you, let's just say you want a no ordinary kind, right? It's going to show you exactly what exchange it is on and everything. And all you got to do is one stop shop. You'll come here, see it says Magic Eden, and some of them are going to say like OKX and Unisat and stuff like that. So you can definitely get the cheapest price using an aggregator. Aggregators going to be, they're huge on Ethereum, and they're obviously going to be huge here as well. And then check out foxy.co. Yeah, 509 people in here. Shout out to you guys, man. But foxy.co is Foxy's site. Wow, it looks great. They did so many. This looks a lot better than last time I looked over here. Oh, there's Gary. There's Gary. Oh yeah, his middle fingers up. Oh man, that's gonna be fun messing with him there. But then you guys see the roadmap as well. Shout out the Foxy team. So we should be getting our token launch and stuff like that coming as well. So hey, we're probably going to reward the people using their stuff. So definitely check out foxy.co. And me and Yagobi are going to be doing a Saturday morning special with them where we kind of just play their game and mess around, like Saturday morning video games. So if you guys are down with that, you guys can join in. We'll give you the link, and you guys can play with us every Saturday morning in the future. So that's going to be exciting as well. And we do have our guns. They're going to be launching really soon as well. Actually, if you guys don't care, I can actually show you. You want to stick around with me for a second so I can find this, but my password here. I'll get the inscription number. All right, so it's going to be ord.io so you guys can see the images. My computer might be just running slow today. So it's 816-45-185. And that should be it right there. So if you are an Ordinal Revolution pass holder or a Ordinal Revolution member on the YouTube channel, which is $10 a month, you will be getting a free one of these. It'll be on Mscribe. So we have this one. This one is the silver one. This is going to be the tier 3 one. But I just like the look of it. Wow, look at that, it's shiny. I love it. And then there is 816-439-13. And I'm probably not showing my screen here. Nope. But yeah, so and there's that one. There it is. That's the white one. Looks dope. What do you guys think? Let me know what you guys think. Ordinal Revolution has the scope thing in there. It's pretty cool. Yeah, man. And then I'm show you guys the other one. Let me know which one is your favorite. I kind of like the white one right now. It's kind of my personal favorite, the way that it looks anyway. But then you have, I'll go the teal one. It's 816-439-13. This is the teal one. What do you guys think? Actually, I don't know. I think it looks really good. And so you guys will be getting, this is going to be a DMT project as well. So all three of these. This is going to be the tier 2 one. So what's going to happen with our Ordinal pass holders and our our YouTube members, you're going to get a free whitelist, and you're not going to know which gun you're going to get. You have to pick a block, and depending on what block you pick, that's the gun you're going to get. So some of you are going to get the green one, some will get the white one, and a very few will get this orange one. So this is the orange one that's coming up. So it's 816-43365. And this is the orange one. This is going to be a top one. This is going to have 9 bullets in it. So I think the green one's going to have, or the teal one's going to have 6 bullets, and then silver one or white one will have the with 3 bullets in it. So that's really the only difference. But these are ones that are going to be a lot more rare. But again, this will all be on Mscribed, and if you are an Ordinal Revolution pass holder, or if you are a YouTube member for $10 a month, Ordinal Revolutionary, you will also be getting this. And how we're going to do that is look out for a members only video. And the members only video is basically going to have it's going to, in the comments, I'm going to ask you for your addresses. And that is because only members can see that. So, you know, it's, and then each name will have, you know, we'll get their address, and we'll get you guys set up for a whitelist. We're going to work it out with Block Runner, where we pay the fee. So you guys don't even got to pay the fee. So you're going to go over there, and it's going to be completely free for you. You might have to pay the Bitcoin for, you know, for claiming the block, but that's going to be like maybe $1. I can't imagine it being more than that. But we're going to cover the Mscribe fee. Hopefully we can do that. You know, we're with the Block Runner. We're going to see if they allow us to do that and stuff like that. So if not, we'll do something where we can give you guys a refund or something. We want to make sure you guys, especially the YouTube members and the pass holders, get them absolutely free. So that's the objective there. Hopefully we can do that. But if not, I don't know. But if you guys wouldn't mind, go and check out ordinalrevolution.com. We have some of the best articles, guys. Articles dating all the way back to last year. So if you know someone just entering the space, send them our website. We really feel like we can help them get started and code up to where we are today. If you guys need a VPN, I know I needed one this weekend when I was trying to test that project. Don't let the site stop you from using it. You know, eventually, hopefully, this new administration kind of sends that on its way and we're able to use it. But definitely, if you need a VPN, stay safe. You don't want these websites to know your IP address, which can lead your address anyway, right? So crypto is very sketchy, so you definitely want a VPN, guys. If you guys are going to Bitcoin 2025 Las Vegas, me and Yago will both be there. It's going to be fun. It's going to be exciting. But don't wait till May to get your tickets. Get them as soon as possible. They will go up in price, guys. They will go up in price as we get closer. Check out everything at Bitcoin at ordinalrevolution.com, and then click here. And then check out our merch. We have some of the best merch in all of crypto, in my opinion, not just Ordinal. So check out everything here. We have Bitcoin hoodies. And if you guys want us to add something, hey, yo, can you put my my PFP on a shirt? We could definitely do that for you. It'll be there forever. So someone else can come in and buy that as well. So just let us know. We can add pretty much anything here. So definitely check out ordinalrevolution.com. And I appreciate you guys. I know Yagobi appreciate you guys too. Thank you guys for hanging out with 2 hours and 26 minutes, 507 people in here. Love every single one of you guys. And until tomorrow, peace.
We OG. Oh no, G. You're not bullish enough, yeah. Oh no, you're not bullish enough. You ain't got D or no. I get stoned by the bolo. Bitcoin set to Olo, yeah. Experts on reload, yeah. You're not bullish enough, yeah. Oh no, you're not bullish enough. You ain't got D or no. I get stoned by the bolo. Bitcoin set to Olo. Experts on reload. Man, pool getting hot. Everybody wanna rock, ayy. Rooms is coming, everybody on a knot, ayy. It's a nuisance, Ordinal Revolution, ayy. Ordinal Revolution. Yo, my guy for real, bro. Got French right now. Yo, BRC 420, bro. Yo, that shit on fire, bro. Imagine if he in here. Yeah, lock it in the seal. Merlin. I got balls of steel. Nookies on the field. Yeah, this shit for real. With no calls, I get so far. Got 100 phone calls that I go hard, and they gon' love me. Smoke weed, huddle back. I get shiesty. Where my Bitcoin looking lovely. All this Satoshi's nothing above me.